No, your son's made this. He's got his name on the end of it. After a month of being there, mum's literally like, we're moving to Scotland.
A family that's like literally blue because of all the incest.
I've learnt more off YouTube in a week than I have this month of being in this course.
I think Kim is a very reasonable person, not gonna lie.
Pitched a tent and literally had like no money.
Fresh off the plane, bro, with the luggage in hand.
Why do so many black people rap?
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Disruption Podcast. It's episode 198.
Very
Wow.
close.
Damn.
It is, yeah.
Close to 200.
Hey, man, we're getting there, baby.
Getting there, very excited.
Nor the Baghdaddy.
Steve Folasoji in the building, baby.
It's your girl, Maweezy.
It's the Prince. What's
Else.
happening?
And we're
Welcome
joined
back,
by a
guys.
special guest.
Yes, we are.
Interstate guest again.
Yes.
We got Josh Paton in the
What's
building.
going on?
Yeah, welcome.
How you
Hey.
living?
Oh, pretty good, bro. Just day by day at the moment. But,
From what we've been hearing and talking about beforehand, it's definitely
Day by
literally hour by hour at this stage, if anything.
I love that day by day.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah.
But no, loving it. Third week in Melbourne. Yeah, it's a vibe.
Nah, we'll definitely unpack what the journey of being in Melbourne has been, and you know, you've previously been here anyway too.
Yeah, no,
But,
it's one of my favourite places in Australia, 100%. So.
Yo, did y'all hear that? Sydney, did you
Melbourne's
hear
a
that?
Exactly.
place
I'm talking to the
be.
camera right now. Sydney, did you hear that?
No, Sydney.
Hey man, before we get into it though, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Yeah, man,
Head
run
to
this up.
step1.life/disruption and do something good for your butt cheeks.
This guy.
Yeah, man.
Some comfortable underwear.
Your balls will love you. Cop some step on.
I've been working all day and I'm so comfortable.
Not gonna lie, I've seen those ads and I do need to get around.
Head to step1.life/disruption.
/, yeah.
That's
Don't forget
it.
the / disruption part. Yeah. Not just
does
Don't just step
It
forward.
does a lot for us.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Melbourne, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Vibing?
Oh, welcome
No,
back.
absolutely love it.
welcome
Love the
back.
weather.
Oh,
I-
you love
that's
the
where I
weather,
know
though.
this is
Wait,
a
wait,
lie.
Serious or?
No,
You love
no,
the weather.
I do like the cold weather. I don't know why. I do love the beach as well, but after a while, I don't know. I like to change things up every now and then.
Never
So
heard that before.
Because I like the weather better on Gold Coast.
I just like being able to wear some
Yeah.
cool clothes.
Yeah.
I'm over just wearing your shorts,
Yeah.
your
And
normal
thongs,
t-shirt,
whatever, yeah.
thongs. Yeah, I want to put on some jumpers. I want to put on some shit. So
Yeah.
it's good. I like to. Yeah.
Winter clothing is good.
Not that I'm obviously not very good at dressing myself, but we'll get there. We'll
You
get
killed
there.
me out there when you were like talking about we're taking photos. Like, I don't know how Melbourne people dress. Like,
I look like I'm not from Melbourne.
yeah, look like I'm not from Melbourne.
I don't. Every time I hang out with people and they're like introducing me to their friends, they're like, oh, he's a really good videographer. I'd pay him over everyone else, but he might not look like it, but he's good. I'm like, standing there, I'm like, oh, yeah.
That's
I don't know if that's a good thing.
It's funny because like there's another guy we know from that he grew up in Sunshine Coast and he's back there now, stayed here for a bit and dressed exactly the same. Like similar attitude, like attitude towards life, that day by day thing. It's like there is something over there.
Something in the water, man.
There's something in the
produces that,
water.
yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
There is a lot of people that are pretty laid back up there. So yeah,
That's dope.
I feel like
Sure.
Yeah. What's life like being laid back though?
right.
In terms of just literally
It's I can put it on, but also at the same time there is a lot of shit going on, well, a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, no, it's good. You gotta have time to chill and lay back and do that, but you've also got to put in the work and
Yeah. Definitely.
no.
that's it,
So yeah, I got two different sides to me. I feel like, but
What's the past 3 weeks been like? Yeah, so even I mean we'll get into like a bunch more other things, but I'm interested to find out why you decided to come here at this time as well, when it's like not too much is popping. And
Melbourne's been a little quiet.
quiet, I'd say, you know.
So I came down like just before the big lockdown, a couple of years ago, I think it was, and like literally, while I was leaving, I was watching them put barriers on the road, like and stuff like that. And I was like, I need to get out of here. This is getting crazy. So, and then I've heard all the stories of my mates that have been in the big lockdowns and all that, and I'm like, I really want to see what Melbourne's like after that, because like a lot of people have moved to Queensland and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's Melbourne now like? That a lot of people have moved away. So that was something that interested me to come back here and just see what's going on. And I had a lot of connections from when I was younger, when I lived here. So just hit them up, got a bunch of filming gigs, and here I am. That's it. Packed my bags, threw it in the car, and one thing is like I'm always around people every day. So I was like, I want to do the drive, just have some time by myself where I can think about what I'm going to do. And that was one thing I really enjoyed. I took 5 days to drive here, and I just got to be with myself. And that's something I don't get to do very often. So that was sick, and didn't spend much time on social media at all. Just lived in the moment. It was sick. I needed it, and yeah, it's been refreshing. So
That's
Yeah.
cool, man. You
Yeah.
can just, put your bags in the car and just say, I'm going over there.
go on, bro. As soon as I got offered a couple of jobs, I was like, all right, cool, that's accommodation. That's accommodation, bro. I go down to Aldi, grab some what do you call it? I grab some chicken for like $5, bro. A bit of rice. I can live off that shit, bro. I don't need much.
I'm just thinking of the things that I would have to do before I can even make a move like that. Tell this person, get approval from this.
Best thing about
2 weeks
working for
notice
yourself,
for
bro.
work.
is
When you want to dip, you just
Everything.
dip.
gone, done.
Yeah.
How long have you been working for yourself?
So it's been off and on. I've done, it's about 10 years now that I've been making money off filmmaking. During that time, I've worked full time for 2 people, or 3 people actually. So that's been about a year each with each person. So that's 3 years of full time work, and then the rest was all freelance work and stuff.
awesome.
So
That's dope.
yeah. So it's been interesting. I've done a lot of different stuff. Everyone goes, what's your one thing that you kind of film, bro? Like
do it all.
everything.
Yeah.
You do voice camera, I'm in.
Yeah,
just
literally.
like that.
I'll give it a shot. Like I got asked to film a jewelry company little ad thing the other day. Never done it in my life.
Wow.
Filmed it, man. It came out 6. You just got to try. You just got to act confident, go in, get the shots. And
Now, I want to give you the flowers now because after I sussed, normally afterwards you tell everyone how good they are. After the episode's going well and everything, you're like,
You tell right now.
Yeah, but like right now, man, like honestly, when I looked through your IG and because I'm interested in videography. We don't call ourselves videographers, but we are people that have cameras.
you guys have a good setup. This is sick.
As soon as I say videographer, then it's a bit serious. So I own a camera.
They'll be expecting his type of production.
Exactly.
Bro, you just have some nice cameras too.
Well, we got some
100%.
serious
You got
cameras.
some equipment.
Yeah, but the vision is a bit of a different part. You know what I mean? You gotta, But watching you, I think you said it as well. Like when we're just looking at you, like, he's
a
clearly
vision.
someone that has a vision in
Yeah.
terms of when you're producing something.
Yeah.
Content is nice.
It
man.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cheers,
very,
brother.
very nice.
Thank
And
you.
it's also like that
Appreciate that.
adventurousness to
Yeah.
like run into abandoned warehouse, run into
Right.
all these different venues.
Literally.
It's dope.
It's like, I just go as many places as I can because you never know if you get hit up for a shoot and they need a location, then
Then
you got something. And
Yeah.
so I'm always constantly location scouting. Even if I'm not
That's
shooting,
pretty
I'm just
good.
going to find cool places because if I get hit up, we're on. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what's good.
So, yeah.
Facts. Do you do other things? Like you do videography, photography as well?
Yeah,
Do you,
so-
do you have other ventures as well? Because I got a question for all of us in line with it.
Yeah, not really. That's been my main thing
Yeah,
since
yeah.
since a kid. Like I actually started recording music for people when I was younger, before even filmmaking or anything. And then one of my mates was like, "Oh, you should make a music video, like since you've got all this music sitting on your laptop." And I was like, "Yeah, sick." So went down, bought a cheap camera, started doing that, and then from there it was on. And Mum had filmed like a few weddings and stuff back in the day, so she had a bit of camera stuff lying around, and I don't know, kind of just picked it up, and that's it.
That's pretty dope.
And
That is very dope.
yeah, but I love the music stuff. I don't do it as much now, but I still like respect it. And obviously, that's how you guys found me through GS Phantom and the
yeah.
boys.
Shout out
So
Sends us religiously will send us a Snapchat every week of him watching the pod. So shout out Phantom.
He's gonna love this episode, bro.
100%.
I still haven't told him that you're on today.
I think he knows.
He does
I was telling him
Yeah,
the other
he
day.
told me,
I was
yeah,
with
yeah.
him the other day.
Ah,
Yeah, I
okay,
literally went to do a shoot, and they're like, "Oh, you're coming to watch Fast and Furious after this." I was like, "Sick!"
right.
So I literally went to watch Fast and Furious with the boys.
Love it.
Full 4D, all the.
How was that?
Oh,
Before I even
yeah,
jump
yeah,
into the
yeah.
question.
Because this is what Fast Furious 10?
10.
I didn't even know which one it was.
There's
I'm
a
like,
lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is 10.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
different.
for the
It's like
experience, yeah.
it's pretty much just James Bond now. Like the cars aren't even a thing.
Did he
running around
scream family at any random
Yeah,
point?
yeah.
Did he
There
give
is-
the
it-
speech?
they do have the whole family
does the
thing
whole
going
family
on, but
speech?
yeah, it's just bro. It's like it's a bit full on now.
Yeah.
It's a bit crazy.
Well, I was gonna say then, because I mean, I think you say that you've been doing videography and photography for like this is the only thing you can't do, but I'm sure you like when you look at it, there'll be other
I do
things
like.
that
I'd say social media as well is a very big.
cool.
That's kind of similar in the same type of thing, but that's a whole thing in itself as well
another
to
beast.
learn. So that's something I've been like learning over the years and stuff, which has been
Well,
awesome.
this is what I was gonna ask then. With all that you guys have your hands in, what would you? It doesn't even have to actually be a venture, just something that occupies your time. What would you cut off in order to put more time and focus and energy into maybe everything else that you do? So you take one aspect of let me just say life right now, one aspect of life out of the picture, whether it be a venture, a job, some kind of commitment that you've got, relationship even. What would you take out in order to focus on the rest, and what are you keeping, or what are you putting your more energy towards? Yeah.
I know mine.
Yeah, you go first.
No one's
Yeah,
definitely taking
I'll
up
quit my job.
Okay, yeah.
So I make websites for a living and
Yeah.
graphics, and I also have my own business making websites and graphics. And then I have this, and then I have other stuff.
Yeah.
And like when I look at it, I'm like, the only thing that I would gladly let go of is my job.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna let go of the chance of working for myself properly.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
So yeah, 100%.
Job's holding
I'd
you
leave-
back.
What?
The job's holding you back.
It is really holding me back. It's really holding me back.
It's coming from a real place. Like,
100%.
I felt that one.
manager's definitely listening to this.
Ah,
right
you
now.
can listen all
Yeah,
he wants.
mad.
It's only
It's
one.
the truth.
What are y'all saying? Is work as well?
I feel like that would be a normal response, like working, if it's that you're working for someone or you're working for like a company, you're working for yourself. I feel like a lot of people would say, I would let go of work. Because everything else that you're doing, it's by choice. Like all the stuff that we're doing in terms of podcasts, you know, you running your own business, that's by choice because you chose to do that. Whereas work, it's like you have to work. So I feel like surely all of us would let go of our jobs right
Like
now.
realistically, could everyone let go of
No,
themselves?
you can't. Not everyone can. Yeah.
You saying?
What? Let go of my job.
Because I mean, like I said, any other type of commitment that you're,
Or like AYA or
yeah,
whatever.
you know,
Yeah.
community organization or you know, yeah, no relationship stuff. You know what I mean?
Let go of your relationship is crazy.
I mean, if it's going to send you in the right
Sometimes that's what
direction,
holds you
then-
back.
Yeah,
Sometimes it
yeah,
might be,
yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes that's
Yeah.
what holds you back.
Damn.
Been there.
Yeah.
Damn.
What about for you now? What is it?
It's very tough. Like I don't have an answer straight away because literally I do like everything. I do like my job too. I'm not gonna lie. I can see where it can go. But I do like the community stuff that we're doing, the creative stuff. Just going to schools and just chatting to them kids.
That sounds mad.
Yeah, that's
Not in that way, but like because we do like school workshops,
Yeah.
so we go into schools
Yeah,
and we just
sick.
you know do some engagement with the kids, their activities and all that sort of stuff. A bit of creative stuff. I wouldn't mind doing that, but that means I have to let go of something. Damn, bro.
It's mad.
It's
Yeah,
a hard
but I-
question, eh? That's
that's what I'm
I like my family.
yeah.
Well, okay, it would have to be.
Yeah, I know. What just happened there?
It would have to be. It'd have to be
Friends,
job.
huh?
Like, it'd
Job.
have to be job. It's taking
Yeah.
away like what 60% of my time right now.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It does take a lot of time.
I mean,
Yeah.
bro, that's even part time taking away. I'm just throwing out a random figure. But yeah, let's say 60%. Other people, man, it's taking like 90%.
Yeah. No, I've been there. That
You know what I
that'd
mean?
be like, I don't want to just agree with everyone else, but I actually did quit my job at like my last full-time job a couple of years ago, and that has like, it brought me right down, and I had nothing. I had no money, I had nothing, but I had to make what I have now work. So that was definitely one big thing. And I know this isn't really a commitment, but like smoking weed was a daily thing for me for so long, for like 10 years. And I kind of gave that up like about 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
And like just giving that up.
What's the
itself.
change? What do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
the
We
change
have
been
friends
like?
that need your help.
Yeah, bro, I have friends that need my help. But they don't want to listen. It'll come in their own time. It
They can't
comes
'cause
in
they're
your own
high.
time. It comes in your own time.
yeah,
That's
you-
the only
you
thing.
have to want it.
You
Yeah.
want it. If
Definitely.
people are telling you about it, doesn't matter. You have to want to
Yeah.
do it for yourself. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
What do you think
Sure.
has changed that you've seen between that? It's what you said, 3-4 months then?
Since I've stopped that, bro, like just actually dealing with things that I didn't want to deal with before, that I'd kind of sweep under the rug and just be like, oh yeah, no, I'll just get high and everything's all good.
Yeah.
Like I've actually just now been dealing with the problems, and that's been good, and it's been hard as well. But
Confronting though, isn't it?
bro, it's confronting, and it's put like a big thing on my life where like I didn't notice how much I was just kind of sweeping under the rug,
Yeah.
going, yeah, it's right.
an
Now I'm
escape.
dealing with shit, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is
that's
cool.
good.
It's
Like
real.
it's good. Yeah,
How old are you now?
I'm 23.
No way.
What?
Making money since you were 13 off this? You've been making money off videos since you were 13?
Around 15ish.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Wow,
That's
hey, shout
really
out to
dope.
you,
Yeah,
bro.
that's dope.
Damn, bro. I feel old, man. I'm only 2 years
You're
old. I'm
younger than all
25.
of
But
us.
yeah, younger, bro. I didn't see that coming.
Oh my
25 and the
days.
rest of us are 26.
Yeah.
I was ready to hear like
Wow.
27.
Yeah, right.
Just based on what
Just
you've
on
been
how
doing,
long
your
it's been.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
How you've
okay.
been traveling, yeah.
Okay, then now I want to hear. Are we still
Wow.
going with this?
No,
Are
let's
we
tap
doing it?
in, man.
All right. What made you at that age? Like, who were you looking up to, or whatever that you were like? Like, was it what?
Yeah,
was
so-
it like Casey Neistat or
No,
these
not
kind
at
of
the
guys,
time
or-
actually. For me, I was just watching a lot of YouTube. I didn't do well in school, dropped
Yeah.
out in like year 8, like earlier than I should have. There was a TAFE next door.
You're allowed to drop out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how'd you do
You're not allowed
that?
to. So I did that. School's contacting my mum every day. You should be coming to school. Mum's working full time. She doesn't have time to deal with it. She's like telling me you need to go to school. I'm like, nah. But so I dropped out, and then the school ended up talking to the TAFE next door, and they were doing like filming courses and photography stuff, and they see my stuff and offered me to come at that age, and that was like real young. I can't remember how old. Oh yeah, end of year 8. I got offered to come to TAFE, and I literally
Wait, what?
14? 14, right?
yeah, it would have been about
14?
14, yeah.
And like you're sitting there with like 21-year-olds.
Bro, there's like a guy, he was an ex-Channel 9 filmer guy or something. He's teaching us stuff from like 30 years ago about cameras that doesn't even matter now. And I'm like, I've learnt more off YouTube in a week than I have this month of being in this course with this guy who's teaching me shit about like years ago. Like in my industry, everything's like
Just moving on.
It's moving quick, bro.
it's
So
updated.
if you're getting taught stuff from even 5 years ago, that's done. That's out of date. So I was sitting there in that class and I'm like, nah. But to me, my biggest like inspiration at the time was a guy called Jacob Owens, and he's got a YouTube channel, The Buff Nerds, and there's a lot of like artists on there from back in the day. I don't know, like there's a guy called Kyle. I don't know if you know him.
Kyle wasn't the one that had the song with Lil Yachty?
Yeah. So him. So he used to be. They used to be really good friends and shoot a bunch of videos, and he'd show you how he did it. And he did all these in-depth things where, like, a lot of people watch Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat and stuff, which I got onto later. But at that time, he was like, And since I was like getting asked to shoot music videos, he was the guy I landed on, and I was like, sick. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Nice.
What is it about
But YouTube was definitely the only way I learned everything. Literally everything.
This guy learned Photoshop his whole job off YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Off YouTube.
So the graphics at my church were disgusting. Like, it was just horrible. And I was like, man, let me just get Photoshop and figure this out through YouTube. And now it's my career.
Also, another thing people don't know is I actually got taught from a church as well. Like the basics. Mum used to go to church. Obviously, I don't really go now, but back in the day, I went and I respect it. And all the people there did teach me a lot of like basic stuff. And without that, like YouTube, I learned everything. But without the basics from that church group,
experience.
wouldn't have had a clue.
Church, everyone. Yo, anyone who's doing anything great, something is tapped in up. Church has got
If they're a singer, if
Yeah.
they're a speaker, if they're a
videographer,
creative.
actor.
such an underrated catalyst of like allowing people to come into their thing. And I think it's because churches just need people to do things
Exactly. And
Exactly.
they, for free, and from young, of course you're going to be.
There was a guy working in there full time because this was like massive church and they had big production like videos and band and everything every weekend. So he got paid, but then I was more than willing to be like, bro, just teach me ways. Like he made cool videos. He was a lot older than me, but he did teach me more the editing side. I like kind of knew a bit about filming, but I just struggled with editing because I got ADHD. Sitting down in front of a computer is not for me. So trying to watch YouTube stuff and then do that, I was like, nah, I hate sitting down. So if he could just point and show me, sick. That helped me so much more. And if I had a question, you can look around YouTube, but if you want it like that and there's someone next to you, then that's just easy. But
dope.
But yeah, the church.
But that's still pretty nice. At
Shout
the
out
age
to
of
the-
14, 15 to go on YouTube and say, I want to learn this.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, I did that, and then I moved to Scotland when I was like 15. So like I did the first month of TAFE, and then I was like talking to Mum, and I was like, look, I'm not really learning anything from here. Like he wants me to shoot on my iPhone. I got a camera at home that I'm learning to use. Like, well, what are we doing? I'm wasting my time. And like I knew what I wanted to do. I was like, I knew that's why I didn't like school. I was like, I really know what I want to do. And sitting here is just wasting my life away. Like I was not learning anything. So after a month of being there, Mum's literally like, we're moving to Scotland.
Mad.
And I was like, sick. And then she's like, we're going to look after your grandparents. And then that was it. Went to Scotland, made a few more music videos, and then that's when I made my first like money off videos. And I was like,
over there.
Yeah, in Scotland. So I didn't even really make money in Australia. And then I went over to Scotland and I was like, I know no one here. So now's a good time to start charging because you don't have friends that go,
Exactly.
can you do free
You're
stuff for
thinking
me?
about this
Can
at
you do
15.
I
You're
was
telling
about
me.
to say,
So I was like, I don't know anyone here. I'm just coming in like I've already been charging in Australia. And then everyone here thinks that I'm already getting paid. So that was my way of...
How long were you there for?
I was in Scotland for 2 years. Did a bit of time in like England and stuff as well, but mainly like Scotland for the 2 years. Yeah. And yeah, understanding people there was definitely a struggle at the start.
Language-wise, even
Bro. Mum's Scottish. She's still got the thick ass accent, and I was like, yeah, I can understand her. I'm all good. Landed. I'm like, whoa.
She's been Australian, man. Yeah, up there will be different.
But the one thing I got asked to do all the time, can you do the Big Les? The Big Les accent?
Oh,
the Big Les show?
the show.
That was that global, right?
Everyone there knew it. I was so surprised. I was like, what the hell? And then they're always, oh, can you say this? Can you say that?
Became a what do you call it? Like just a performer.
Right, that's it. I was
just got your party chicks, man. You bring it out.
That was me, just talking.
Is Mum still in Scotland or is she back here now?
So she stayed there for a bit longer, and I got offered a job in Melbourne. So I went to school with this guy Maurice, and his dad owns a luxury car dealership here. I didn't know at the time. I was just mates with him because we had a good time, and we liked the same music, heavy metal and stuff. So I was like sick. And then he called me up while I was in Scotland, and he's like, "Oh, Dad needs a videographer for the cars. Do you want to? We'll fly you down."
So you'll be 17
old,
now, then, yeah?
Yes, so I was, about 16, 17 around then.
Wow.
Wait, sorry, did they fly you down?
Yeah. So,
Alright, to be honest, that means you were like
That was your
Doing well.
then.
to fly someone is one thing, but to fly a 16-year-old, 17-year-old down is like that's
Exactly.
you were clearly good.
yeah.
Or at least
So
had vision.
at the time, I thought their dad really wanted me, but it turns out they wanted me in there because they wanted to prove to their dad how much they needed social media. So they would kind of say to me, "Oh, Dad wants you," and I'm like, "Yeah." And I got in there, and then the dad was kind of like, "Who's this guy with long hair, wearing full Sunny Coast outfit in Melbourne?" He was like, "Nah." He pretty much walked in there, and he's like, "No." And I was like, I've just come like kind of all. So I came from.
Please pay for the flight back.
He was literally. So I think the sons paid for the flight and stuff, but they just said it was their dad at the time, and they were like pretty certain I was going to get the job with the dad. And I was like, yeah, sick. And then I rocked up there, and I'm like, this is not the story.
He didn't even know.
This sounds like a movie to me right
Bro,
now.
fresh off the plane, bro, with the luggage in hand.
17 years old, no parents, no family here. All my
Maybe
family's
if
in
we
Scotland.
pause right here, I'm interested to find out how your mum was all right with you even just coming out. I mean, 17, growing up a little bit more, not an adult in the eyes of the law.
Mum actually came back with me at the start, at the very start. She flew back, and I was born in Alice Springs. So right in the middle of Australia.
That's another.
Just to make it a bit weirder. So when we got here, Mum's like, "Oh, I want to take you back to Alice Springs for a couple of weeks or whatever before I fly back to Scotland," because we'd never been back there since I was 2. So we went, did a couple of weeks there, and then I flew to Melbourne. Mum flew back to Scotland, and I don't know. I think she just she kind of believed in me, and she knew my mate Maurice from back in school, and she liked him. So I guess she was like, if you want to do it and you know it's the right thing.
That's a lot of trust,
yeah. And I was like, I think now's the time. And at this time, all my mates are still in school. And I'm making money.
All my days are just,
all my mates are in school. And I've just got offered to go work in a luxury car dealership in Melbourne. And I'm like, you wouldn't say no. So I was like, sick. Went there. Yeah, the dad was like, nah, pretty much straight away looked at me. And I was like, let me make one video. If it gets like, I think I said 50,000 views or something, would you give me a job? And he's like, if you can get 50,000 views in like a couple of days, I'll give you a job. And I was like, sick. So I literally made this video. I look back at it now, it wasn't that great. But to me at the time, I was like, sick, filming like hectic cars I'd never seen before. That night, went home, emailed every person I knew on Facebook, every person I knew, share this, send this to all your friends. I need this job right now. Like, I've just come from Scotland to Australia. I got nothing, bro. Help me out right now. So I messaged within a few days. I think we hit that 50K, and their dad had nothing to do with social media. So he's like, print out all the results for me. So I printed out all the views. Literally went up to his office with all the printed out stuff and was like, yep, there's the views, there's the reach, how many guys seen it, how many girls seen it, how many people went to your website from this video, all that stuff. And then he's like, all right, if you go get a haircut tonight, sort yourself out, you got a job tomorrow.
All these conditions.
That was it.
That is
and
amazing,
bro,
That's
I had no
awesome.
other options at the time.
So what was the haircut of choice?
I didn't get a choice. Bro, I felt like I was
get this haircut tonight.
I was basically going back to school.
Whatever.
Literally.
Look like this.
Yeah, his sons that night, we're taking you to our hairdresser. I was like, okay, done, whatever.
The usual.
I had never.
That's special.
Bro, I went having like hair down here for years to like some short. Never put gel in my hair before. I was like, what am I doing? But now I look back at that and I'm like, if I didn't have him kind of tell me that, I don't think I would have got my image together. I know I'm not like, don't dress the best, whatever, but like a bit better than what I do then. And I respect that at the time because I look back at photos of me I literally today seen a photo of me before I was working there and I was like, whoa. Like, I'm grateful.
Sunshine Coast.
Yeah. Like, extreme. Wow. And I was grateful that he actually gave me the job. But
that's mad.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
that's a cool story.
Yeah, 17 as well. Like, wow.
So so I was working in a car dealership doing all this shit. All my mates from school are messaging me like, how the hell did you just go from like TAFE to Scotland for a couple of years to now like in this place? So yeah, that was wild. And then seeing all my mates out at schoolies and stuff while I'm working, I was like, I've already got a couple of years head start on the school. A lot of people. Yeah.
Everyone's about to pick up uni debt and you've got salary coming in.
Yeah, that's it. It's not all like good, and at that time I was only making, I think it was like $700 a week or something filming, and I was working 6 days a week at the time, so I was getting destroyed. But at the time,
that's a lot.
But it was good.
I needed to look after myself, and it was sick. I'd never made that much money in a week before, so for me, sick. Like, sign me up.
At that time as well, cost of living wouldn't have been
too bad. It was good. It was good.
Damn.
No, it was good. And like, I'd never lived in a city before growing up. Like, I lived in Glasgow for a bit, but I was with family and we were a little.
So bad. It was a horrible attempt.
But yeah, like Melbourne was the first city I kind of like lived in properly. And it just opened my eyes up heaps. It's a different world out here compared to like living on the coast with your same group of friends all the time. Like,
damn. I want to even touch on the aspect of being in school, especially at that young age, and knowing already what you want to do. Because I feel like I'm such an advocate all the time, even of saying like, at the same time, even though you know what you want to do, get the backing of completing the school or try to juggle both at the same time. But I can see how crippling that can be when like you know exactly where you think you need to be or want to be right now, and yet you're stuck for 8 hours a day.
That's it. So like
first 4 years or so.
I don't think everyone should leave school. I think people that obviously want to do like doctor, lawyer, whatever, that type of work where you need to have all that, whatever, like a lot of things you need to stay in school for. But at the time, I feel like now creativity in schools is a lot different. And they do like more filming stuff. I think Adobe have like partnered with schools now to even do stuff. And I seen that, I was like, that's crazy. Back when I was in school, if I was doing creative stuff, they're just, you're just mucking around. Like at the time, making videos and stuff was not like, they're just, you're fooling around. And I was like, nah, I can see like something's going to come of this. So yeah, I don't know. Just wasn't for me. 8 hours a day sitting there. And I had ADHD, so class clown, getting in trouble every day. And I'm like, why am I just getting in trouble every day being here when I could just be at home working on my crafts?
It's one of those where you're not even trying to purposely get in trouble. It's just
being me gets me in trouble.
Yeah, literally.
And that is annoying then.
And once you're known for that, you don't get out of that. That's you. And I went to, I think, 4 or 5 different schools growing up before year 8. And I got expelled and everything.
No way. What'd you do to get expelled?
Don't incriminate yourself.
No, it's a good story, but I just don't know. I'm just going to tell it anyway. We might need to cut this one out.
Let us know. And then,
But so at my school, there was like, I think a lot of schools kind of have a teacher where they're like, a bit of a pedo teacher or whatever. Like, I don't know, maybe not. But back when I was in Sunny Coast, you have a teacher where they're a bit strange, and you're like,
strange teacher.
Strange teacher. So there was like the strange teacher. At the school, he's the sports teacher, and like,
short shorts.
Yeah, weird. And my mate, so the guy who got me the job at the luxury car dealership, when I was going to school with him, he got all these videos of that teacher, and I was like making like funny remixes on virtual DJ or whatever, Skrillex remixes. Put this video together, like moving it like back and forth, and, like making it look nuts, and like made it on Movie Maker. And we just got laptops at school. We just got laptops.
No, not the school laptop as well, right?
Made it, and then at the end, in the credits, put my mate's name, my name. I'm like, didn't even think about
credit for it as well.
I know.
Bro, I put hours into this. I'm taking all the credit. Anyway, it was just a laugh between me and my mate at the time, and then I showed another mate, and I was like, have a look at this. Had it on a USB. He's like, yeah, that's sick.
Done.
By lunchtime, everyone had it on their laptops. And then a couple of days later, I got called in the office. Mum was in there. Yeah, no, your son's made this. He's got his name on the end of it.
Should have left the name out.
Went for the credit.
So that was my first ever video I made, and I got expelled for it. And here we are today. So.
Right, the guy from church is saying, this is what you did with that knowledge. This is what you did with all I taught you.
What was your mom's reaction to all this?
So I'd actually, this is bad. bad, eh? I kind of showed my mum like before, and she had a
like, this is
laugh.
hilarious. Spread it around, tell everyone.
Dude, mum's like, yeah, that's funny as. Like, between me and my mate, my mum, we're having a laugh. And then when she gets called in the office, she's sitting there, this is terrible. I'm sitting there just smiling. I'm like, so I got expelled for that. So,
but Expelled is crazy though.
nuts. And I was in
crazy.
year 6 at the time.
Wow.
You did this.
Year 7.
Year
Year 7. First year of laptops in year 7.
man.
Wow.
Bro, like,
First year Queensland
it's
brought
gonna
out
sound
laptops.
so dumb, but like, I want a kid like you. When I have kids, I want my kids to be like this.
Like at that age,
I want you to.
Because it's creative.
It's
bro.
so like it's a level of genius.
Yeah,
to it.
I didn't just pull a song off and put it in there. I put it through virtual DJ. We made a remix, the whole production.
Man, year 7, we were busy trying to like make friends, and you're over here saying,
I was doing mental maths.
yeah.
Mathematics.
Dang.
Yeah, but no, that was a crazy time, and then it was hard to even find a school to get into after that.
Yeah.
And then, I got into a couple of schools and they weren't great, so yeah, I knew I just had to make my own path. It just wasn't going to happen for me.
Yeah.
I kind of had that name at a young age, so I was like, nah. I either keep going down this path or I just make a full switch.
That's a pretty at that age, it's pretty I guess mature thought processes to have. Like of the whole thing of, I think it's a very high level of self-awareness, I'd say, of like, all right, I'm not even actually actively trying to seek trouble, but like you're saying, it brings it on, and then now it's even impacting other experiences or opportunities and things that you don't even want to actually do. Like you're not even trying to go to the next school, but you have to kind of thing. So it's like, all right, now you're
trying to make mum happy.
Literally,
really, at the time. That's the only thing I was kind of thinking about.
Yeah. And then and now you're faced with that decision of like, all right, I have to either do my own thing or keep going down this path, which actually just causes more problems and more issues at that time.
And at the time, as I said, like no creative thing was in schools at all. But now I see it and I'm like, it's good that they finally come around and notice that you can make a living off this and it is actually work and jobs. Because we had a photography class, but it was all just like, I failed every photography class at school. And I don't think they really took it serious. But to me, I was like, I'm going to make this regardless. So. Yeah, so it's good now for kids, 100% in school. I think they're doing that, and I think that's awesome. But yeah, at the time, getting labelled with ADHD and then just getting told that that's just like you're never going to live off that was like, So to get told that, but like my mum believed in me. That was one sick thing, and I rate that. Like without mum believing in me, I'm like, no, not a chance in the world, man. And like I have other mates who are really gifted and talented at things, but like their parents don't believe in them, and I just see them not put the effort in just because their parents don't believe in them. So
that support goes a long way, man.
100%. So yeah, no, absolutely appreciate.
So you're working like 6 days a week at this the dealership.
Yeah,
right?
at the time.
So what was next after that?
After the dealership, so another dealership opened up next door, and they were trying to shut this guy down, and they offered me like a car, phone, pay rise, everything, and I was like,
to what? To just shoot videos for them?
Yeah,
as well?
to shoot videos, do their social media stuff. So I was like, sick.
No loyalty.
No whatever the bag is.
Bro, I'm literally 17 at this time. I'm getting offered a car when I just got my license, work phone and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gone. So
They really wanted to
I
put
get the
them out
bag
of
and
business,
flip it and tumble it. That's the way, bro.
That's what you would do. And then you worked there for 1 year.
So then I went over there for 1 year, and when I went to quit, my boss absolutely hated me. But hey, it is what it is.
Got your haircut.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I did everything you wanted, so now it's me. It's my time to go and do what I need to do. So I did that for a year, and then I didn't really get fired from it. It just wasn't working, and I kind of wanted to leave, but I didn't know how to go in and approach people at the time, so I just wrote it out as long as I could. And then one day they're like, look, this isn't working, and I was like, I know, I've just been rinsing you for you.
I've been enjoying the car.
Dude, literally, I've been enjoying the car, the phone, and the extra money, so it's all good. But like at the old dealership I worked at, we had a spot where we could film the cars. There'd be new cars coming in every day. They get detailed, fully done up, and then I'd video it, put it on the website, whatever. We had like a whole routine every single time a car came in. In the second place, we didn't have that. It was all over the shop, didn't have a place to film. Cars just jammed in everywhere in this place, and I was trying to film cars while I didn't have space, and I just kind of told them it's not going to work unless we have a dedicated spot to film the cars. They never did that, so see you later. And then that was me back to Queensland after that.
So you didn't have a backup plan. You're just like, all right, I'm going to quit, and then I'll see what's next.
Yeah. So I can't, it was kind of like not getting fired or getting quit. It was just, we kind of just agreed at the same time that this is not working.
It's a breakup.
It was a breakup.
It's
Mutual agreement to just, end it there. I was wasting my time as much as I was wasting their money. So I was like, let's see. And then I moved back to Queensland with no idea what I was doing for a while. And by this time, Mum had moved back to Queensland. So
it's good link up though.
So that worked out perfectly. But I was going to go live with her and ended up staying with a girl for like 2 months while I was there, which was kind of stupid, but it was good at the same time. Took me away from my work.
Why was it good?
Let me answer that one.
It's getting hot in here.
I need to take this jumper off. No, but that was good. I kind of just got to chill out, not work. I'd just been working full time for 2 years at a young age. So for me, I was like, I just need a break. Hey, that was mentally draining
already.
Yeah, you need the long service, bro. The time probably even feels longer at that age, man. Like doing full time work from that early,
long. And at that time, I was like, I cannot do full time work for the rest of my life. Within that 2 years, I knew that, bro. I was it's not me. I can't be working for someone else's goals for the rest of my life. So
it's funny how like different people have that different moment where they kind of clock.
That is not for me.
It's not for me. Like I remember my dad. So my parents moved to New Zealand when they were like, my dad was like 35 or something.
Yeah.
And this is the 90s, and he remembers one time he's at lunch, and there's this older man who was like 60 at the time. It was like an engineering company, and this guy's playing solitaire on the computer. It's his lunchtime. And a boss comes behind him and he's like, what are you doing? Stop doing that on company computers. And the boss was only like 40 or something, right?
Yeah.
And my dad, like, he always, whenever he thinks that, he's like, that was the moment that I said, I'm not going to work for somebody forever. He's like, I don't want to be 60 and told I can't play solitaire. You know what I mean? And like now it's like he owns his own business. I mean, that's where we're at right now. But like it's just, it switched. And for different people, different things. Like for me, I think it was a little while ago as well. I was like, I hate the idea of having to drive to work every day. Like I don't want to do this anymore.
Bro,
like,
especially in Melbourne, the traffic can be full on.
It was literally 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, screw this, man. I need
Imagine
to work
that
for
2
myself.
hours you could be putting into just whatever else. I'm in the same boat when I was doing stuff. Yeah. You think about all the time that you're wasting. And then, but the thing is, when you come out of like working a full-time thing, you think, oh, I've got so much time. But you need to stay in that same work routine. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They come out going, oh, I've got all this time now.
Yeah.
But then they don't like put the
structure to it.
To the time. Yeah.
You know what it is? It's also because like when you're an employee, like if the company charged, like let's say every week you're getting $1,000, like you know every 7 days it's $1,000.
Yeah.
When you own the thing, you're like, I could in one day make 4,000.
Literally.
And then it's like, oh, I don't have to work for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
But if you actually worked as hard as you do 9 to 5, you're gonna be well off.
Yeah.
You know?
That's even my problem at the moment. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I've cleaned up $1,000 on this shoot. That's my week done. And I'm like, nah, that's not how it should be. Hey. But that's the thing. When you work full time for someone, they tell you what to do. You don't have to think. Yeah. So when you come out, you need to be telling yourself what to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do that because they're so used to just being in school where you get told what to study. You go to your job, you get told what to do, you get your money. And then when you have your own business, no one's telling you what to do.
You are admin, you are accountant, you are
everything when you start it. So you need to remember that when you're leaving your full-time job to go to your whatever passion, you need to put that same amount of effort in that you did at that last job and know exactly what you're going to do when you come out.
That's why I can't blame people though. Sometimes if they just want to stay in like a company 100%. For the rest of their life, it's like
if it works for them.
Someone's doing the admin for me. I just wake up 9 to 5, I go home, and then that's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Clock off. But it is like nice knowing that you can set your own hours and work for yourself. And like you said, if I want to take 2 jobs this week, I can. If I want to take 4, I can. If not, I'm going to go on holiday.
Yeah,
who's going to tell me off?
Annually.
Literally.
Now I was going to say you at the 23, yeah.
23, yeah.
23.
I was just thinking about it. 23 years old. You're at a very interesting stage of your life because you can actually rack up like a couple of Ks in a shoot. When you look around, what's your friendship circle like?
It's changed a lot recently. In the last, I'd say even 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
I was living in Surfers Paradise, drinking nearly every night and stuff, and I just got rid of all those people in the last year. Wow. And I only have a really kind of close couple of mates around me now, and they push me in the right direction, and that's been the number one thing. And I've lost, I think, nearly 25 kilos in the last 6 months as well. Put a bit on this trip just because I'm just having fun. But yeah, before this trip, like got real into the health and stuff as well. And that helped just everything like crazy.
Yeah, how's that been? Because 25, like on you, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Massive.
Like,
massive, bro. Like, went from drinking nearly every night, eating whatever, doing stupid hours editing and just not looking after myself at all. And then I think I nearly hit 100. And I think that day I just looked in the mirror and I was like, who are you? This is not the person I want to be.
What are you doing?
Yikes.
I'm there. He said nearly 100. I'm like, okay, that's been a while.
For me, for someone that's weighed
For
80.
him, it's different. He's 6'9" or whatever.
I can't imagine you almost hitting it. Like, doesn't.
Okay, first of all, don't get it all, make it sound all
Someone's
I
gonna
can't imagine hitting 100.
It's so inhumane.
No,
right?
not in general. Like, when I look at him, I'm like,
I can't imagine.
not you guys. No,
100, wow!
I've really let myself go. Like, come on, man.
For me, for someone that's weighed like 80 my whole life, and I just broke up with an ex at the time, and I was like, I don't know who this person in the mirror is anymore. So that was a big turning point for me.
Interesting.
not talking about anyone.
It's all right,
I'm just.
Carl. It's all right, we get it.
Digging the grave.
The grave has been dug. Just dwell in it, right?
Fine.
Dang, man.
Yeah, very done, very done. You shoot a lot of music videos still?
Not really anymore, but it is something I definitely want to get back into. That was when I was in the UK. That was awesome because
Rap
that was
videos
just watching the takeoff of grime and drill and stuff there at the time before it even came to Australia.
Yeah. What do you think it is about white guys shooting the best rap videos?
Yo, big facts.
Cole Bennett. I think the S2 brothers in the UK. I think that's the S2 or something like that. They shoot a lot of the stuff in the UK. What is every time I see anyone in Melbourne that's a rapper, I look at who's flip the camera around.
There's a guy, Flynn made it in Melbourne. Do you guys know Flynn made it? No, he's
He's Shepherd as well.
He's doing some cool
Yeah,
shit.
Zacko, bro.
I don't know.
I've seen him. He's like, I'm just naming names.
I'll agree with you.
What are y'all doing, man?
Answer this question. I don't know. It's just it is what it is. It is what it is. Why do so many black people rap?
Hey, that's the fair point, man. Fair point.
I said no.
We love to see it.
Fair point.
This is a very good question.
Yo, okay. From that answer, you're ready to be a politician from the sound of it, right? One of the questions that Noah's chucked in the podcast was, if aliens visited this planet, who would the representative be that we send to represent us? I think you do a good job, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
To be honest, we might have to send him.
On behalf of Australia, you would be the
Australia is a good
most
shout.
eligible candidate. Because we're not sending Albanese.
It ain't easy with Albanese, bro.
We're not. Yeah, it's not easy there.
Nah.
What's happening? Who else?
Like, who else do we think is like, who do
Australia?
we send? No, okay, now we're just talking.
Like worldwide or Australia?
Now, on
worldwide.
behalf of humans, who do we send?
Who we sending as our representative?
Do we want them to do a good job?
Of course.
In terms of like
Peace relation.
Anyway, go on. We need them to do a good job.
Make a
Okay, so
good
peace.
deal.
So it has to be someone with a good temper.
Okay.
Can be, and because one thing and they're just you know what? Let's invade.
Alright.
Also, do you believe in aliens? Or what do you reckon? Do you think there might be?
I don't know.
Yeah?
It's just if I haven't seen it, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The weed didn't ever show you anything.
Saw nothing in the.
guy.
Dang, man. Well, yeah, what do you reckon?
That's a hard one, eh?
They don't have to be a politician.
No. It could be
anyone.
like,
Anybody.
could be The Rock, or could be
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, or could be
Honest.
something.
Kim Kardashian.
Ooh.
I think Kim is a very reasonable person,
She
not
did
gonna
well in
lie.
Men in
They
Black.
think we all look like Kim. They're gonna come here and they're gonna touch us.
Or some ET.
You come here.
I feel like she's got enough brain,
Okay.
enough patience.
She's given too much
She's
brain.
gosh.
Trust that? Okay, interesting.
Anyway, she's got enough brain. Like she's smart. You know, starting to be a lawyer and that.
Yeah, 100%.
She's got the influence.
Huh?
She's got the money if money's needed. Yeah, I feel like she would just be very, you know. Yeah, I think she'll be able to.
Like
She's
she
actually
just
not a
I
bad
feel like she
shout.
just goes, hey, welcome to Earth.
Have the whole script ready to go.
Okay.
Trying to think who else.
Okay. That's actually not bad.
Who
Would I go to represent?
I don't know, like the only person that comes to mind is like Elon Musk. I don't know. I don't know much
he's an
about
alien.
him.
He's
an
Bro, even Mark Zuckerberg, get them just go. Do your thing. Go talk to your brothers and sisters. Go sort it out. Come back.
You
Let
see
us
my
know.
legs, yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's interesting one. Yeah.
No.
I would definitely not trust like Bill Gates.
Nah, that's
He's gonna pimp us out.
Yeah.
Actually,
The deal from
What do
that.
you mean? He's gonna say how much for Earth? Talk to me.
Roughly, what are you looking at? Yeah, nah.
Because it also depends. Like, what do you want? Do you want to send someone that's gonna befriend them, or someone that's gonna make them feel scared and go away? Because if it's scared and go away,
Donald Trump.
Kim Jong Un,
Kim Jong
or whatever the young
both.
Kim
Oh,
Jong-un.
sorry.
at the same time.
Wait, do you say Donald Trump?
I said Donald
They
Trump.
should be
And
doing
he'd
the world a
honest.
favour sending them.
Right.
I can imagine. To be honest, there's nothing here.
Literally.
I have one in mind. It's a very weird one though.
Who?
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
Okay.
He's the owner of Dallas
Yeah,
Mavericks.
he's vibes. He's
He's
vibes.
Explain,
good.
explain.
He's funny.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He gets
He's
it
a
with the
funny guy.
culture.
He gets it. He's up there with it.
Good businessman.
Good businessman, knows how to connect with everybody. So I can see him.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, he put us on the map.
Okay, I swear this week. I want to see if I got a juicy one in here, man. Like,
But
that
yeah,
can-
depends.
that
Yeah,
can-
I've been trying to deep dive, but
Yeah,
it's
Like
just
I said, it depends. What is the goal? You're trying to befriend.
Yeah.
You're trying
I
to make
want
them
befriend.
scared?
I want befriend.
Befriend.
Okay,
Yeah.
you gotta go with the
Okay, if it's
vibes.
befriend, I think it's Rick Ross.
Oh my
Ross.
gosh.
I
Wait,
think
what?
it's Rick Ross. He's just
Wait, what?
it's the
Rick
way.
Ross?
I don't know why he's the funniest person for some reason. Just
Rick Ross and
Naturally-
DJ Khaled at the same time.
oh, DJ Khaled's a great shout.
Oh yes.
DJ Khaled is a
DJ
great
Khaled
shout.
is good.
I
Yeah.
had one come to mind just then. All right, weird guy, David Cho. I don't know if any of you know of David Cho. Artist.
Let me.
He's an artist.
He was an early investor in Facebook and all
Yeah,
that as well.
yes, David Cho.
The one in
He's
beef.
got a
One in beef.
Crazy way that he just thinks about
Okay.
life.
Yeah.
I
So,
can see
bro,
that.
that would be.
That's a very good one. Yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah.
Rogan would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. David Cho's a good one.
Worried
What
about.
would he achieve, though?
I feel like Rogan's just gonna ask questions like, "What do you want to do this for?"
Do this. I'm an alien.
I'm worried. I don't know why I'm a bit worried about Rogan being the one to represent us.
I feel like Rogan's gonna come back and say, "I tried." I don't know. I can just imagine him saying.
But you know, guys, yeah, I tried. But the aliens at the end of the day. He's gonna say something like that, and then now we're invaded. Say Shaq.
Shaq. Because they think we're all that size.
Oh yeah.
They get scared.
Hey, and he's a good enough like vibes and
Yeah.
fun guy. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's likable, but I don't want to get on his bad side because he's built like this.
That's actually very smart.
That's a good shout. That's a very good shout. Who do we definitely not want to send?
Oprah Winfrey.
Whoa.
I don't know
Why?
I don't feel like she'd do
Leave
anything.
Oprah alone.
Just interview the hell out of them.
Yeah.
No,
Were you also like this when you were young?
like, yeah, I've always been an alien.
I wasn't an alien. Who else could we definitely
Wow. Okay, you
not
don't trust
send,
her, huh?
man?
Paris Hilton.
Damn. Damn.
Could not send her.
That's
You better leave Paris alone.
Oh, like Andrew Tate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, bros.
Nah, yeah, not happening. Not happening. Yeah.
Would Kanye do an alright job?
Oh my day. No, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done. We are done.
Surely Kanye
Kanye's
wouldn't
coming
do a
back with them
terrible
saying,
job.
"Ah, guys, yeah, we are better use."
Bro, they're gonna be invading us and he's just doing his stupid dance. Bro, while it's happening.
Church choir.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah, I'm not
definitely
sure
no
if I can
Kanye,
just-
man. Yeah.
Kind of have to take a
Yeah,
back
we
seat on
meant to
this.
reconnect with them, and he's like, I don't like the way they dressed.
Bro, yeah. Let's see who else. Get one more, man. Who else could we definitely not send? Any idea?
I'm sure there's a politician out there that we just could not send.
Who's too nah. I can think of like Tony Abbott definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
Joe Biden. You could not send
Jo-
Joe
oh
Biden.
my days! You forget why he was on the way there to go speak.
Where
to
am I?
Bro. Oh, that's a funny Halloween costume.
Bro, have you seen how like every single month he falls over? Like literally
At some
physically
point you'll
falls
see
over.
him. Yeah.
The man's
How's
old.
his speech, eh? He just mumbles. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
Goes around in circles, man. Forgets what he's up to, kind of thing. Bro.
How does someone get into that position being like that? That's
saying.
wild.
America's
America's wild.
you're right. He can be trusted.
To be honest, he ticked it off his bucket list before.
It might have been a bucket list.
It was a dare with his friend.
Yeah.
It was a bucket
Let's
list
see if I
item,
can do
bro. I'm
it.
telling you, man.
Become president. No, okay, I'll try it.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's mad. Hey, if we ever see that day, we know who we're sending. And we know who we're not sending.
He's definitely first up.
Oh, give it a shot.
Yeah. We better.
Nah,
I was gonna say, that would have been a crazy period of time. I think we've stopped your story now at like where do we land? We landed just when you've gone to Queensland. So that's what, 19?
Yeah, just around 18ish,
18,
19.
19,
Yeah, 18, 19.
Wow.
What's that whirlwind been like since then till now? Then?
Till now, I've worked full time for like one more person after that.
Broke up again with them.
Yeah. But I learned a lot more from that situation. So that was working for someone that did a lot of stuff on social media. So that taught me a lot about the social media stuff, which was sick. But man, so much has happened. I just don't even know where to start, to be honest. So I moved back to Sunshine Coast, was there for 2 months, and then my mate was like, I've got a place in Gold Coast, you want to move up? Moved up there, started shooting like comedians, Frenchie, Isaac Butterfield, don't know if you know them.
Okay,
So
wow.
did a bit of touring with them around Australia.
Still connected with them?
Yeah.
Do you reckon
Frenchie's...
they'd wanna jump on the podcast?
If there's anyone you want on, it's Frenchie. He is the most humble, down-to-earth, like guy that does the whole social media thing in Australia.
Yeah.
A lot of people that you see on social media that are doing the whole funny pranks and their life is completely different off camera to what you see.
Oh, I can say now, I don't know if you've met these people or not, but that, like, maybe we'll bleep it, Shami, all those guys, they just seem like dry, weird, sad people. Yeah.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, bro. But like, behind the cameras, man, it's a different story. And like, I truly hope that they like
get some.
They're nice dudes, bro, and they're really smart and like they know what they're doing. But just the lifestyles. I don't know. It was just something that I didn't want to be around. And like me leaving, working with Shami, we didn't really have like a bad falling out or anything. It was just weird. I was kind of known as
you worked with him? Like,
so I worked full time with Shami for a year.
Oh, shoot.
It's getting bleeped.
I'll bleep it if you want me, by the way.
Sorry?
I said I'll bleep it all the name if you want me.
Nah, screw it. It's all good.
He says screw it.
No, that's fine. It is what happened. And I didn't really leave on any bad terms with him. I just was kind of getting known as Shami's videographer. And I was like, I put all this work in behind and I don't even have the name. It's like Paton Media. It's just always, Shami's videographer. All my mates hitting me up. Oh, I can do this for Shami. I can do that for Shami. Yeah. Every conversation in my life revolved around Shami for a year, bro.
Yeah, that's
annoying. Like at the end of it, I was like, nah. Like I put this work in to try and get Paton Media to somewhere, and now it's just gone because everyone doesn't even know that it exists anymore. Wow. And I don't have time for that anymore because I'm working full time doing all this content. And so that was when I pulled myself out of that. That was me like restarting pretty much again. Again. Bro, like, I've restarted a few times, bro. But like when you get into the full-time job with filmmaking and stuff, it seems so good at the time. You're like, this is it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. But sometimes after a year or two, you just notice you're like, I've put in so much work and now I'm just doing the same thing on repeat every week. And it's not growing. I'm not getting anywhere. The guys I'm around, like, it's just not the lifestyle I want to be living. So when I notice that, I'm gone. Like I'm not there to hang off his name, and I feel a lot of people are like around him just to kind of hang off his name and be able to go out to clubs, pick up a girl easy like that just because they know Shami. That's just what it is in the Gold Coast. That's not me. I like to be myself, known for what I do and the work that I put into my stuff. So at the end of the day, not for me. But I took away a lot of like knowledge from working with him because he's very, very smart at what he does.
Massive reach.
And for someone that knows how to make viral content, he's nailed it on the head. Right. And I got a few tips off him from doing that I've implemented into some of my own videos now. So I'm very grateful of the stuff that he's taught me. But at the time, it was sick. I had a good couple of years doing that, but hey, it came to an end. It's just I needed to keep growing where I was going with my stuff. So
Who else's name should I drop so you can tell us good stories?
Oh, yeah, what I was going to say about Frenchie, bro.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
people like Frenchie, man, like real down to earth, humble dudes.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have a full conversation with anyone in the street that'll come up and talk to them. Other people, maybe like Shami Jackson and stuff, don't give people, I think, the time of day.
That was like the name I was trying to think of.
Because they do, so like Frenchie and stuff make more of their money, I'd say, off the shows and the touring. So they need to have like a personality when they're actually out in the public, which I think the comedy stuff is sick because it gives them a personality. Yeah. But with Shami, Jackson, all these people, they only make money off the videos online. So then when they're in the public, they're a completely different person to who they are on the videos. Wow. But Frenchie and stuff, they are like literally who they are in the videos. They might put on an act for some of them, but like when you meet them, you can have
kind of get the same thing.
Right, they're actually funny people. They don't need a viral thing. It's just their actual personality is funny. Yeah. So that's the difference between like a comedian and someone who posts viral just content on YouTube. Yeah. It's a completely different thing, and I don't think people really. Yeah.
It is nice when you realize some of these guys are like successful, or girls, whatever, they are successful and like massive and stuff, but they still seem down to earth. Because I mean, like, we hit up someone pretty big for episode 200, and they were just like within 30 minutes, they were like, "Yeah, I'm down." And,
sick.
You know, just super chill. Like, I don't, maybe you've worked with them in the past.
Can't drop a name yet.
Find out after. Trying to keep it.
But I'm over here dropping names.
It was like, it was kind of cool, just like going, oh, like even though you've achieved that level, you're still kind of just down to, you know, talk and spend time. And like when you're talking about French, it's like, oh, he's down to have a conversation with you. That's cool.
I love that, bro. That's very nice. Just people that are in that kind of status that give other people the type of day. Yeah. There's nothing better than that. Like that's awesome. And even myself, I keep all what I post on social media and how I am in real life is 100% me. Like,
facts, yeah. Okay. After doing the Instagram talk, it's the same person.
And when I meet up with people to shoot and stuff, like a lot of the times they're like, oh, I feel like I've known you for years or months or whatever.
It brings out better content, to be honest. I mean, like we think about that when it comes to podcast wise. We've seen other podcasters who it clearly looks like they don't create. I mean, let me not speak on it. I don't know if do you feel comfortable right now?
Oh, you know? 100%. Yeah.
That was a very like discomforting question to ask. Very confronting question to ask about comfort.
No. This is very comfortable. I even said before this I was a bit nervous, and here we are having a conversation.
Yeah. That's awesome.
No nerves at all.
It brings out much better like content, conversation in all kind of aspects, especially as a videographer, photographer. When you're going to be directing people or positioning,
they're already
people.
uncomfortable because they don't used to
being told how to position and all that. Yeah,
but then like I post all the content of how I do all this stuff. So when I get with these people, they already know what's going to happen. They know how I work. Like it's just.
You know what's funny about? Because I see that you do the POV, and then the
actual edit. Yeah,
but it's funny because as you're scrolling like through Instagram, you get the full edit first. You watch it. Oh, this is a sick video, and it keeps going. Oh, damn POV! It's like it would have been interesting to see it. Oh, this is the vision, and then this is what it produces as well. But because obviously you're scrolling downward, but I'm like, damn, this is a sick ass bit. And I'm like, oh wait, and there's a POV as well. Like, you can hear just the raw conversation. Oh, you just do that. Oh, that looks sick. Or
it's literally just my Sunshine Coast saying, that's it. Half the time I'm like, that's dope.
That's pretty dope, man. Why put more of your personality out there and some of your thoughts when it's just but this is your photography, your business Instagram. Like, why also now add your content, all that?
I feel like you need a personality. Oh no, I can't even speak properly. Let's retake that. No, you need a personality on an account if you have an account. You can't just like. I was posting cool photos for ages, but no one knew what was happening, who was around it. So as soon as I started putting my personality into it and I started doing and saying a lot of things that people didn't like, and it just made a topic around, like, got people talking. You do, what's the word? Like, when there's two different sides to something, controversial stuff. Like, that's the number one thing I think now to growing a brand is doing controversial stuff. That gets people talking about you, and it's like sometimes it doesn't work in your favor, but it has definitely worked in my favor a lot. Just jumping on some controversial topics and just I don't know. I've kind of always wanted to be in front of the camera, but never really knew what to do. So I was like, I love shooting stuff. So why not show people how I do that? And it's just worked well because now when clients book me, they know what they're going to see.
That's true.
Which is good.
And I think. just being real with people. That's honestly it. It's nothing worse than seeing like people's stuff and then going to meet up with them and it's just not what you thought it was going to be, and then you've got to still do the shoot or make it happen, and it's just an awkward time. So I don't want awkward times. I just want people to just come and get exactly what they see. Yeah.
Sick. Nah, your stuff is proper. Like, I encourage people to go check it out on IG. Like, even because I saw you did the one with the watch and the gold foil with the light.
That was nice.
Like, you don't. When I finally start to realize some of the things that are done, like creatively designed in order to get the shot, like, you know, especially when people are opening like an oven in the ads, and stuff, and it's like clearly it means the oven, the back of it is gone out. Like, they've ripped off the back of the oven. They're like moving the camera in to get the whole like pulling the thing down. It looks like you can see the perspective. It's like thinking about all of that aspect of things, the behind the scenes to create the shot. It's sick. So
a lot goes into it.
Well, a lot goes into it, man. So when I think about like the one with the watch and like just spinning it around,
I literally got hit up to do that. Like a jewelry video, and I was like, I've never done this before. Scrolling through Instagram, and a video came up like exactly the same as what I kind of did in that. They got the foil and stuff, and I was like, sick, I'll give that a shot. Never shot jewelry before. Shot the video, showed the client, and he's stoked.
Lost it.
Bro, he's like, this looks like a proper watch ad and stuff. So I'm like,
it is a proper watch ad, mate.
Is that how you generally get like your ideas for videos?
Yeah, literally just scrolling through. Maybe even some TikToks and stuff now. Pinterest, massive thing. I've got like literally 100 boards of different ideas for different shoots.
And tap into Pinterest, man.
Everyone always says
like,
Pinterest is
underrated.
But
very, very, very good. For photo stuff, I feel, but for video stuff now, obviously TikTok, Instagram. And once you find a cool creative, I guess.
Tap in.
Just keep watching.
Are there any other like creatives in Australia, like in terms of video stuff that you're like, I really like their work?
So literally just before I came here, I met a guy called Hayden Patterson for the first time. I think it's Pedersen, not too sure on the last name, but like massive YouTuber. I think he's got 1 million subs or whatever, and we just had a chat for the first time. And man, his content is unreal.
Is he Melbourne?
Yeah, he's Melbourne based.
Somebody add him to the list.
Yeah, literally. He will be a good guy to have a chat with, man. And just from having a chat with him and watching some of his older videos, he's gone through some like mental health stuff over the last few years. Wow. So to see him really wanting to come back full force into the YouTube stuff, like in the conversation I just had with him, is sick. That's like, it's cool, man. I appreciate people that go through hard times and then come back and give it 100% again. They don't just, it's done now or whatever. So people like that. There's another guy, I don't know if you guys have heard of the DJs Bombs Away. From like years ago, they blew up like quite a while ago now, but
see what you did there.
blew up.
Bombs away, blew up.
I didn't even know.
Right, you picked it up from the comedians. Come on,
it's natural now.
Shut up, French.
Nah, but Bombs Away, they were brothers, duo DJ. They've split up now. Still mates, whatever.
Still brothers.
Still brothers, but they still talk and everything, so that's cool. But one's got into the filmmaking now. He does a lot of stuff for Super Cheap Auto, like big $1 million campaign ads and stuff. And he's taught me a lot of that kind of commercial stuff that I had no idea about. Like making social media videos is one thing, but making 100%. Stuff for TV and ads is a whole 100%. Different thing. So I appreciate him for taking the time to. He's got a busy schedule, so for him to take the time to show me what he's shown me over the last couple of years has been awesome too. So
that's really sick.
I've got those guys on the list.
What about X Media?
X Media.
Have you heard of them?
No.
I thought I'd just get some juicy conversation. I don't know. No, like genuinely, they produce amazing stuff. I don't know if you guys.
Also Paton Media in Sydney. They do some really, really cool stuff. I think they have a few different videographers and editors on board there, but man, some of their stuff is unreal. And I don't even really tell people like the people I look at. So this is the first time just mentioning, but
it's good, man.
These guys, there's some real. Oh, also Moon Boy.
Do you
guys know Moon Boy?
No.
Do you know like SL from the UK, the rapper? So SL's just come to Australia not long ago. Moon Boy linked up. They did a music video in Sydney. I think it's like one of the first like big link up Australia and UK like artists. And bro, he killed that. He does a lot of stuff with like Hooligan Hefs and all the other like Aussie boys. Like he does like wicked visuals, unlike any other stuff I've seen before.
You said he's in Sydney?
I think he's between like Sydney, Gold Coast. And, I don't know. He's all around, bro. But
Sydney trip.
but yeah, definitely worth having a chat to him, man. He's got some crazy skill and a crazy team behind him, and they're like definitely number one for music videos in Australia. 100%.
Just quickly checking out one of them.
That's the one he done for SL.
Yeah,
the first like 3 seconds, bro.
Yeah,
I don't even want to make a music video.
I just saw this. What is this, bro?
Like this guy, man, just next level.
That's awesome.
Bro, I'm just taking screenshots of all these
Literally.
profiles, bro.
Oh, bro, I'll give you heaps.
I was gonna say because there's so many like different production companies and even just friends that you see with cameras and stuff. Do you think like this is an industry that can be oversaturated?
Yes,
You
it
reckon?
wasn't long ago, but I feel like since TikTok's come out, everyone thinks they're a videographer, photographer, and since COVID's gone away, everyone's trying to start up their brands now. So that everyone's picking up a camera, trying to do shoots for brands and everything. So it's getting very. I feel like the DJ scene used to be very oversaturated, and now it's going a lot towards the
Bro, the
filmmaking.
DJ scene really stopped being like everyone was
Like a
trying to
thing.
get
Got
into
hard,
it.
bro.
It's done a full switch.
Every week there was a new DJ coming up. Oh, new DJ on the scene. I said, damn, another one.
DJ Falafel, who's this?
But yeah, no, I think the scene's starting to get saturated now. So
Yeah.
the people that are going to put in the time, the effort, the work
You'll
are
see the
definitely going to
difference,
stand out.
And it doesn't help that like Apple keeps
Cap
producing
cut
phones
and
with like good quality cameras as well.
No,
so
it's
like
nuts.
you have
my
an iPhone.
friend Ebony, she owns a what do you call it, like fitness brand, like clothing, tops, bottoms, whatever. And she makes all the videos on her phone, and she was showing me, and it honestly
good?
looks like, and she was asking me my opinion yesterday.
Yeah.
She's like, do you think this looks like a camera or a phone? And I'm like, if I didn't like do filmmaking, I'd think that's just straight
You
up
should
a
have
camera.
just completely ripped into it so that you get the gig. This is the worst. This is horrible. No one's ever going to buy your product.
my gosh.
You get the gig now to film it for it.
Hey, I'm still going to be shooting some videos, but like for someone that doesn't even do filmmaking to make videos to the
Like
level
that.
they were for that Instagram page, like it's sick. It's actually pretty cool. So you don't really need to hire hectic videographers unless you want to kind of go to the next level. But for anyone that's like starting stuff up,
Can just.
right, you can do it all off your phone. And even me, I never film anything on my phone and post it on Instagram. In the last 3 weeks being here, every day I'm
Everything.
filming
Yeah,
on
Is
my
that
phone now.
all your vlogs and stuff, has that been just phone kind of thing?
Just
or?
since I've been here in the last 3 weeks,
Yeah.
because like I've just been moving around so much. I don't know when I'm going to have my laptop charged and trying to transfer files from all these cameras and GoPros and stuff. It's hard. It's just like, no, I'll just keep it all on my phone while I'm here. I really did want to vlog for YouTube, but this trip's been a lot of just meeting, networking, organising the future, so I haven't really had time to shove cameras in everyone's faces all the time. It's just easy to get the phone out, do a quick little vlog, and keep it nice and easy. Do a little edit at night, put it up, like just staying active.
That's awesome.
But
There's a couple. I mean, we want to jump into some of the Apple stuff specifically with the new.
Vision
oh
Pro.
yeah,
Goggles.
yeah, how
They are,
crazy
you
is
know what I
that
mean?
stuff? The new goggles,
Yeah, the new goggles.
VR,
But maybe even before jumping into that is the 5-day vlog that you did on your way here.
yeah.
That was sick content. Like
Yeah.
that was actually like proper dope content. Like you have a good personality for just talking
Being in
about
front of the camera.
Yeah, for being in
Yeah.
front, and even
Do
just
you
stuff
reckon?
that is just very normal. Like all you did
Yeah,
is drive from yeah, right.
literally.
But it was very entertaining content. Like you know what I mean.
Oh, I'm
Just-
glad to hear that because I actually had no idea. I'm like, I don't usually post that stuff. It's
Yeah.
usually photos or tutorials or how to do it or behind the scenes. This was just something completely different.
Right,
I wasn't
okay.
even
That's
shooting
good.
the whole trip here.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can I make this time worthwhile and make content out of it?
I think it adds to that thing they're talking about, building up the character and personality behind the content that gets
And
created.
as much as it's not about the actual filming or photography, it's about the journey of me
course, yeah.
like building this brand because I want to build this brand. I want to get people on board. I want to get people working with me and stuff like that. So yeah, it's literally, this is the journey like that I'm showing on my Instagram. It's not just here's a photo, here's how to do it.
Yeah,
This is
more
like
to
from
it.
where I am now to even a year, there's going to be some crazy stuff going on. So
That's awesome.
something we realized, we're like, we need to start getting in the habit of just documenting life. Because funny enough, the friend that's moved to Sunshine Coast was someone who documented life all the time.
yeah.
And as much as sometimes when you're having the intimate moments or dinner and there's the phone out recording or you're just chit-chatting, so she's like, I'm just going to put the phone out. It's like, come on, bro.
And you get that a lot now.
Yo, but then you see some of the stuff that he's been able to just have on file of like years ago or experiences when he's traveled to this country, times when he's met this person. It's like, I see why it's so worth it.
Even when I used to live in Melbourne, Snapchat was a big thing at the time. And I don't really go on it too much now, but linked up with a few...
Carlos.
He's the last person holding it down.
I'm holding it down.
You and GS.
I still got it, for the memories.
The memories.
Literally the memories on
For that
Snapchat,
score.
the biggest thing for me.
Score.
So all my mates who used to hang out with years ago in Melbourne, we all linked up, and first thing we did was bring out the Snapchat memories. And man, it was sick just to sit there and go through some of the stuff. But yeah, nowadays I feel like people are like, camera in my face, like nah, all the time. It's like, I don't know. I think people are getting a bit annoyed with it, but it's sick.
Yeah,
right? Like,
it is.
I see the two sides to it because some side would be like, it's the work slightly more trying to be work side of like, just connect to the moment.
Be in the moment.
Be in the moment, which there's a place for that.
There's a time and place for that.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to do on this trip. I was like, I'm not even going to vlog the trip here and I'm going to start filming once I get here. But as I'm driving for like hours a day, I'm like, I need to do something. I'm a creative man. I can't just sit there and not create like when I'm just sitting there for hours. So I was like, no, I'm going to create something regardless. But
it's dope. Like watching, the content when you, I think you pitched a tent.
Yeah.
On the way here, like you stayed in the tent overnight or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Checked out the beach and I'm like, this is vibe.
That's not the first time. I got another tent story for you. This is one of my favorite stories.
This is a podcast. You can talk. Do what you got to do, bro.
I can tell stories in a podcast. Let's go. No, but I moved to Sydney. I think it was nearly 3-4 years ago now from Gold Coast, and it was my housemate and I. We had a house for 6 months, and then we had to get out of that house. So this little joke came up about the 3-month mark. I was like, oh, let's move to Sydney. And he's like, I'll do it, you won't. And then it was just on and on from there. Every week we'd just be chilling out. And then I'm like, you going to Sydney still? Yeah. Are you? Yeah. No, you're not. Nah, yeah, whatever. And then it came down to like the last week, and I'm like, are we actually going to Sydney? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, done. Let's go. So we literally did a bomb clean on the house. I think we had mattresses and stuff. We didn't even know what to do. We just threw them like in the bush across the road and stuff. Just had to get out of there. Like,
there's a homeless person somewhere that really made use of it.
But like, so this little like joke went on that we were going to move to Sydney for a long time, and then we ended up packing literally everything into our car. We probably had maybe $50 to $100 between us after fuel for the trip and stuff. And we got all the way there, and we stopped at a little truck stop. We got all the way there, and then we stopped at a little truck stop, and then pitched a tent, and literally had like no money, and just started hitting up everyone in Sydney for like filming jobs. We're like, we're moving into Sydney. The whole trip down there, we're just messaging people, and then by the time we got there, we had a few gigs. We're like, sweet. Went and met up with them, shot for the whole day, and then we go to Macca's, charge all our stuff at night, do all the editing at Macca's, use the Wi-Fi, send off the stuff, get paid, cool, go back to the tent, sleep there, set it up.
Wow.
Bro, we did this for a few weeks, Like, literally had no money. This is like...
you don't even get paid instant. That comes in.
No, bro,
or 50%.
You send an invoice, you got time, you're waiting. So, yeah. So, we're doing this every day, just trying to find people. And we started saving the money we had. Obviously, we're living in a tent. It doesn't cost much, so you get a couple feeds and stuff. And then after that, we made enough money and we found a rental, and we went and got the rental. And then from there, I was able to like help my ex move down from Gold Coast. But we literally moved there with nothing in a tent for weeks.
Made it work.
Just reached out, used Macca's Wi-Fi and all that. So like that's another story starting from the bottom again. There's so many times I've got to places where I'm like, oh, this is it. And then when you get there and like the Shami stuff, I was like, this is it. This is me. I'm set up. I'm getting paid. This is like a guy I've always kind of wanted to work with and stuff. But until you're in the moment, sometimes it's not what you think it's going to be. Damn. So I've thought so many times, this is me set up. And then just to find out, no, I'm got to restart again.
I think that's the crazy thing. Like hearing your story, it's like at 23, between the ages of 16. Honestly 15 and 23, you've had so many resets. Yeah. Like that's an abnormal amount, but it's obviously turned to a good thing.
It's an abnormal, but it has taught me some lessons. Hey, and like this is something I know that I want to take to a crazy place. So I'm not giving up on it. And Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
just
good
I
that
got
you're
to
also
do.
having this reset such a young age as well, 20, 19,
Exactly.
23.
Yeah,
You know, I can't imagine having I mean, it does happen a lot, but as Noah mentioned, like having that many resets, imagine having that over the age of 25 now, right?
Yeah.
You're having a reset at 27, then 30, then 32. Right? It's good that you've kind of gone through all that at that age, and then now...
yeah. And now,
hopefully there's not
Figuring
another
it out.
reset.
No.
But it looks like you're doing well, man.
Do you almost embrace it even? Like, even if there is another,
I kind of, every time I move state, every couple of like years, I try to just to refresh myself, meet new creatives, and that's been something that's sick. So every kind of reset I've had, I've met a completely different group of people. So the networking from the resets has been something like I never thought. I could literally go to any small little country town nearly, from like Melbourne to like Rockhampton, and I'd probably know someone in most of the towns.
And they need work.
And they need work, or they'd give me a place to stay, or
that's
something
a
like that.
community to build. Yeah.
So like, okay, you make this trip, you're living out of a tent. Does your mom know that her son is somewhere in Sydney living in a tent for weeks?
Mum was a hectic traveller. She has travelled the whole world.
Yeah, so she thinks it's a good thing almost.
Like not good, but she's like, he's on his journey and if he's doing this, he obviously knows that's what he wants to do. So Mum's been all for it. And then when I give her the phone call, we just got a rental place today. She's stoked. She's like, that's it. He's done exactly. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm doing it, man. I hate it when people just talk about things and they don't do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Literally do it, man. Like, as soon as someone tells me what they want to do and they don't do it, see you later. Like, I want to be around people that are saying the stuff they're going to do and then they go and accomplish it. And we push each other and stuff. That's where I'm at in life now. And I haven't even really mentioned this to anyone yet, but I'm thinking about moving down to Melbourne soon. So this is going to be not a reset, but another start again. And I think like the feeling I have now and the seeds I planted when I was younger in Melbourne, and they're now starting to like flourish and all like I'm a bit older now. I've come back. It's just a different thing. So I feel like this is the start for me to like something great now.
That's awesome.
And I feel like all the stuff I've done in the past, all the resets, all that's like kind of leading up to what's about to happen.
That's great.
I do
Not
like
gonna
how
lie,
you-
Melbourne. Yeah, sorry, no, you go.
I was gonna say I do like how your phrase always like this is a fresh start, not a reset.
It's just like I'm just constantly learning. That's literally what it is. From every time something's happened, worked, and then not worked, like it's just a learning curve. And get up every single time and just get back into it.
Yeah, no, I was saying Melbourne's a good place for that too, especially just at the point in time where everyone's mind is geared towards. Like, we need your talent. You know what I mean? Like, right here,
the people here, everyone's doing cool stuff, and I'm just vibing it. Hey, like I was meant to be here for 1 week, and 3 weeks later, I'm still, and I was meant to literally leave. I was meant to start driving back tonight after this, and now I'm staying till Tuesday, and I didn't even know that till like
Because Daniel told me that he's like, he's coming to shoot and then he's going.
Yeah, that was literally the plan. That was the plan. And now I've got meetings tomorrow about other work and stuff, and I'm like, Jesus.
Here I am. Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Would you consider going overseas
Yeah.
to restart there?
I mean, you went to Scotland,
I
mate.
mean, like now.
I've done quite a bit of traveling myself. I've gone to like quite a few countries, but I don't really know. I kind of want to have a base here.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely have a base here. Maybe get a couple of people working with me that if I had to go overseas and do stuff, this could
still
be looked
operate.
after. That's the
nice.
plan now because I've always kind of just lived gig by gig, and
I
like
almost want direction or something like that.
yeah. Now I want some like
Stability.
returning clients,
Yep.
and then I can set up a little group of people, little business thing.
Nah, man,
That's
dope.
awesome.
Get it going properly. That's the goal, and I feel
retain a client.
sure.
retainer clients, and I feel like now and the people I know now, it's gonna work. It's gonna happen. So
I love that.
I got an interesting question of like, has there ever been a time, whatever you want to share as well, has there ever been a time where you've come to that reset and you've thought, okay, this one is the one that takes me out. Like, I don't actually see how I can get
out of this
past this or how I can get out of this one.
I had
you know?
so actually the last podcast I was on in Sunshine Coast, I was at that stage,
Right.
And it was a weird podcast for me because they were asking me a lot about what I was going to do, what the next step was, and I was lost.
Yeah,
and I was like, I
Wow.
don't even know. And that's when I just stopped working with Shami, and I was like, do I even want to keep doing this? Do I just want to go work in the mines or something? Like, I've been doing this for years. I was literally, even on the phone to my mum, I'm like, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I was like, I
that's
literally think I'm done.
yeah.
And then, I went out, just got into partying and stuff for a while there when I was in Surfers. But then a girl hit me up one night and she's like, I really want to do a photo shoot. Like, I love your street stuff. I seen you haven't done it in a while, and I went out literally and done that, and that just from there, man, I was like, nah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah,
this is like I can't. I get like when I don't use the camera for so long, and I look at my Instagram and nothing's happening, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's shit to be done. There's people to be seeing, networking, like filming to be made. Like there's so much stuff I can be doing, and if I'm not doing it, I'm just wasting time. So, but yeah, definitely after I went through like a crazy first and only relationship.
That was enough to
far, first and only relationship that scarred the shit out of me, and building myself back up from that was very, very, very hard. But once I did that, it's kind of just shown me that I can rebuild from absolutely anywhere. So, yeah.
That's
awesome.
So,
I'm sure.
Shout out to you, man. Because normally when people tell me, I have to reset, they go back to their mom's house.
Yeah.
They literally go there. The bedroom's there. Everything's still there.
Like it's a comfortable reset.
I've been close. I've been close.
Yeah, like,
I have been close. I'm not gonna lie.
You're talking about mines, though, bro.
You're talking about yours is like 10 mines and so
Different
on.
even.
Then my friend's like, yeah, bro, back to base. So I said, where you at? Yeah, my mom's crib.
Like it's still not comfortable enough reset. Your resets are
From discomfort to discomfort.
I'm not about being comfortable. If I'm comfortable, something's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. If I'm comfortable, I'm not going in the right direction. So, just trying to just stay as consistent as possible, really. But yeah. But what about you guys? Give me a little bit of how you came about all this stuff.
What would be interesting for you to hear?
How did you guys meet each other to start with?
We've said it a couple of times on the pod, but let's source it up.
I know you might have
But
said
this
it.
feels like we're making a new friend, so it's worth it.
I want to know a bit. I literally didn't know anything about you guys before I came here, and I still don't. So for me, I would like to, just for my
Said
personal
nothing.
self.
Yeah, say less.
The catch up happens before and after.
I'll chat a bit then.
So, they're dating.
Okay.
Oh, actually, almost going to get married soon.
Hey, congratulations.
2 months, man.
They went to school together, Daniel and Carl.
Them too.
Carl and Marwa had known each other since childhood-ish, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
And then me and Daniel met at church first, and then I think like a week later I met Marwa, and then probably 2 months after that I met Carl, and then
In church.
yeah.
And what was why the podcast?
Yeah, this is a real question of why now, right? Yeah, why? Almost kind of like you with the thing of like not wanting to just fill the void or do something
Or
that
add to the noise.
Yeah, or add. Yeah, it's like you actually get this what do you call it? Joy and some kind of like slight fulfillment out of doing the creative, the outlet that you've got, right? So for us, we were doing something on YouTube beforehand. Funny as it was a discussion-based kind of platform as well, but we did some like challenges stuff. And actually, GS and David were on it.
With
us. They used to be on it with us.
Ask them about it.
Yeah, they used to be on it with us, right? So we did that for like 2 years, 3 years almost.
Yeah,
almost 3 years. Yeah, and that was really dope. But then at the time that we're all just like. So we stopped that. At the time when it was just kind of not happening and we're all meeting each other and stuff like that, I personally realized like that was actually really fun to do. And I realized that it had something that wasn't present here necessarily in Melbourne even, right? Like I know there's podcasters, like people doing it on the big scale, but it doesn't speak to the voice of like
it's
ourselves.
It's not the community.
You know what I mean?
Like they're kind of doing it for the money, the views. But I feel like when I watched through your guys' stuff, it was the community, and I was like, that's sick.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we're trying to do something that is like the conversations that we're interested in for like our age, our people, our demographic, right? Because like corporates have agendas for why they do pods. Some of them are very news based, and it's like I may as well just stick to TikTok or Instagram, Twitter that gives me this content, like all that kind of stuff. I'm like, there's a void in the voice in our space, right? And like we realized that there was a lot of traction from what we were doing before. Like, why not do something again? So that's the conversation we started having. And at the same time, Noor came to me about it because we would get in a bag of like always having these deep
philosophical
Conversations.
conversations. Existential conversations would be stuff within like faith conversations in general.
I love that stuff.
Proper like jumping into like that bag of so many different pockets of stuff, even just as men, as guys, the struggles that comes with that. Having long-winded conversations, like church would be done, we'll be chopping it up for another hour, or we have like young adults or whatever, we'll be chopping it up for time. So he's like, I've been thinking about doing a podcast.
Which is crazy because like now that I think about it, because we started this 2019, June 2019 or May.
April we got together. I think May we're planning. June we recorded.
launched.
July we launched first episode or something like that. Yeah.
And but when I think about it, 2014 when I was in year 12, I remember thinking about I want to do a podcast. Even now I remember because my last name's Gabriel, right? Yeah. And so JB is how it starts. But I always wanted to call it Gift of Gab because we're just good at talking, right? Sick. Since at that age, and that has never come about. But maybe one day, who knows? The side thing with sibling or something. But since then, I was like, I like the podcast thing. It wasn't as big then, but then by the time we got to it,
bubbling a bit
is when things started bubbling a little bit more globally. Yeah. Obviously, podcasts are enormous now.
Yeah.
But
even at that time, it was still slightly quiet.
Before that time,
we listened to people.
At that time,
they were the major
US.
ones.
It was US. Yeah.
When you started the podcast, did you start with cameras or just audio?
iPhones. So we had
shout out to the app.
Yeah. So we had a cracked iPhone 6, a cracked iPhone 7, and a cracked iPhone 8. That were all like my old phones and my mom's old phone or whatever. Yeah. And so they were on those, the crappy tripod stand that we used outside before. So there's on 3 of those. And then they would, you'd have to have them charging the whole time. Yeah. And they connected to a little switcher app on the iPad, so it's the Wi-Fi. Yeah. So Daniel was just switching through.
That's still pretty sick, though.
Yeah. The funny thing is it felt so getaway and whatever, but it was still good quality. You know what I mean? Not many pods were doing the video with multiple angles and stuff. They would we'd get guests come down. They think that we're doing yo,
a setup,
a full set, and then they just literally
you see a phone, a crack phone in front of them.
Some of the angles are shocking that we'd have in some of them. Some of them you can see the other camera.
You used to have a watermark from the switcher.
If I go back to the start, number one
podcast, go back to the start. We look poor. It's so crazy. But now think about it. We were actually in such a different stage of life when we started. Nobody was working full time. Nobody had money really by any means.
Didn't Marwa hold it down with the pod thing? Marwa bought it. Remember the first roadcast or whatever? We all paid, obviously. But it was funny because Marwa had money at that time.
Was it all of us there?
We were all there.
Everyone was like, all right, who's going to put? At the time, it was 900. But nowadays, praise God, 900, any of us could be I'll hold it.
Yeah.
But back then, we were like, guys, I don't know if I have that in my account. I can pay you back 200, but...
Bro, we're all just standing there staring contests yo, who's paying for this? Mao was making guap. Yeah. Paid the whole thing. We obviously paid her back.
What were you doing at the time to be making
I was working at Pancake Parlor, guys.
I think she's.
But you were working hella jobs at that time.
Obviously, you've seen something in the podcast. You've seen potential to go and buy this.
And that's the thing. I invited myself to join the podcast. Them 3 always had the conversation of let's do it. Yeah. And then I kind of wanted to be the person behind the scenes, but with a microphone. Yeah. I never wanted to. I'm camera shy. Yeah. I don't know if it comes across, but I am very, very camera shy. And so I was like, I want to be behind the camera, but just to give a woman's perspective on
I feel that's good to have.
Yeah. And then they're like, no, if you want to be a part of it, you got to be in front. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. So the best decision we ever made.
Yeah.
You know how much better YouTube looks when there's a woman in everything?
Right. How do you think I grew those followers on Instagram?
It was just us. I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah. But I think that was kind of it. It was just we saw the potential in it. Saw a gap in the space. I think we're just entertaining and down to earth kind of people. So the conversation.
Where would you want to take it? What's
production studios kind of thing almost, man. Being able to do it for other people and
hopefully one day create our own studio and set and all that kind of
stuff. Get our own.
This
set.
is sick spot.
Nah, don't do that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not even
hype it.
I didn't know if I was just going to someone's house.
Brick walls in here?
The exposed brick walls.
Good bricks, huh?
Not gonna lie, in your camera angle, there's been a crease in your brick wall this whole time. And I'm like, I want to get away.
It was the earthquake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys feel that?
Oh,
hectic, I just checked into an Airbnb. I was up 3 levels and I just felt boom. And I was like, did someone just crash into my building or something? 4 went downstairs and everyone was in the corridor. Oh, what's going on?
The building's a bit scary, man.
Yeah. But that's pretty much what brought us all together. 4 years deep now, so
Literally, even when I watched the videos, I didn't know it was set out like this. It looks
Yeah,
so good.
it
We did
doesn't
well.
look
You
like
guys
it.
do well. We did well.
You
Yeah.
have to hide it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys make it look so sick. Like,
I
it's
appreciate it.
it's mad.
Thank you.
How'd you go about getting all the cameras and stuff too?
Damn.
Are
That's
Just
you
over time?
familiar with the cameras?
Yeah, bro. You got a Black Magic there. You got a Sony
Another
what?
Black Magic.
Sony A
I think it's
Seven?
A7. Yeah. I don't know if
A7,
it's
yeah.
a 3.
And then I don't know what's it.
It's also
Another
Black
Black
Magic.
Magic.
Yeah, yeah,
Black
sick.
Serious,
You got
serious.
some good cameras sitting there. That's what I mean.
One of them is mine again not a videographer, but a guy with a camera. That one there on me is mine. That's Carlos's. That's on you.
Yeah.
Why do you even have a camera, bro?
And the-
Like, why did you get one before you were even doing any videography work?
Nah, I just like shooting, you know?
Yeah.
But you liked cameras even before I even got it. You just were fascinated by it.
Yeah. Like, I always just wanted to go out and take a photo.
Yeah.
Not of things of myself, but
Because I remember we were trying to do like
Yeah.
photo shoot and all
I
that.
remember this. This is disgusting. After church, when one of them was like, hey, like, can I come to your next photo shoot? I need good photos.
Take photos. Yeah.
my
So
days.
bought, and then we just put money together for the podcast with the third Black
Yeah,
Magic.
sick. No, I love the setup.
But it's I don't know. There's something about like experiencing the real world through the eyes that we see, and then now being able to like capture that within something on this.
Yeah.
Like the stories that get told. Like I mean, you do a very good job at that. You know what I mean? And like
Storytelling.
being able to tell stories through. Putting together moments, adding different sounds that wasn't even necessarily what was present at the
Yeah.
space,
And like
but-
even like just starting off with lower quality stuff, sick
Yeah.
because it looks real, bro. Like even like so when I was working with Shami, one thing he would do when he does the prank videos, always filmed on like phones and stuff. They never film any of it on cameras and stuff, like just because it looks real. It's real. Like
Raw.
people film all this stuff on the phone, so. If like some people won't start things up because they're like, oh, I don't have the budget, don't have the equipment, but it feels real from the start. If you started off on a lower budget, it literally feels real. Even some of the music videos I do, the lower budget ones are getting way more views than the other ones. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think sometimes when you start seeing a commercial feeling, it's like just loses the value of like the real
Authenticity almost.
especially if the story that the content or the person behind that is trying to tell is one of authenticity or come up and
Down
all
to
that.
earth.
And then now, down to earth, but now it's very done up. It's very commercial.
Just,
It removes
doesn't have
all
that
of
feeling, and
That's
that's
facts.
something that you need to portray through videos is like feeling. And some people get all the best gear and stuff, and then you lose the real
us?
feeling. No.
With this bad boy, yeah.
Nah,
You need to learn some of the principles of videography still, eh?
Not talking about podcasts. Just
No,
like,
I
just
mean,
in
just
general.
talking about when we go out and do like, because we did all right. We could do better. When we've gone out, we've done like concert shoots and stuff. Like international artists have come down and all that.
Yeah.
We're the ones behind the camera been trusted to capture the content for these people. We've done well, though.
Done
We've
well.
Yeah.
Done well.
There's a video on YouTube that has 20 million views, and there's just me running around with a gimbal iPhone in the background. It's really embarrassing.
Oh my days.
That's sick. At least you could. That's your claim to fame, man.
Me there with the-
No, that's sick.
would you ever shoot a concert?
Concert, yeah, I've shot some before, like music festival type stuff. Yeah. One of my mates owns a music festival in Gold Coast, so I've shot that a few times, which was sick.
Is it Promised Land?
No, it was what's it called?
Which was fun, man.
Can't even remember. Lunar Electric.
Okay.
It's called Lunar Electric. It was one of the first festivals, I think, to come back in Australia, maybe even the world after COVID.
Oh, wow.
It was massive at the time, and I think Timmy Trumpet and stuff were like the
Okay, yeah,
headliners.
yeah.
So it was sick. And for the Gold Coast to have something like that, just in general, was sick.
Yeah.
So shot stuff like that and made some good connections there. But yeah, that was wild. And I remember, just after being in COVID for so long and then having a music festival with all these people, it was sick. And I was talking to the owner, and he said, like, because everyone outside of Australia couldn't obviously come here because of COVID, like artists and stuff like that, all the Australian artists put their prices up so high. And that kind of, I think, made it hard for a lot of the festival scene when they tried to come back from COVID, is when, they couldn't get other artists from around the world. So these Australian artists were charging like ridiculous prices, but not pulling the crowds for what like the people running the festivals were paying for.
Double
So
loss.
that really stuffed up a lot of festivals that were trying to come back after COVID. But like the ones that are still standing now, obviously, are the ones that have been able to sort it out and get it done. So, so for anyone that's done a music festival after COVID, hats off to you, because it's been a lot different from when, like, before COVID. So, yeah. And
how much logistics that goes behind this stuff?
Yeah, dude, a lot of festivals in Australia probably don't even make money. Like, a lot of people don't even know that. But, like, a lot of people are putting in work behind the scenes just to try and build the festival to a place where it can make money in the future. But a lot of them, when they start, do not make money at all. And, like, I think a lot of people just think, oh, they're making heaps of money.
I mean, that's what
the ticket sales of this. But when you go into it, and, you're paying for artists, alcohol, everything, stage design, lighting, security, film people, like, there's just...
Did your prices go up as well?
No, I stayed humble. Bro, I wanted to...
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. But, hey, no, I knew the guy at the time, so I was happy to help out where I could. But, no.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to work out. You told a lot of stories.
Yeah, I feel like I talked
story?
a lot about myself. Sorry.
Did you tell the story?
What's the story? That's the tent one. That was the tent one. Yeah. I should have mentioned that before. Sorry, guys.
That story came in. It was just so natural.
It did. It came in real nice. But living in a tent was definitely something I never thought I'd do. And I didn't really live in it. I did a bit of time. But hey, if you have a goal, do whatever it takes to get it done. Definitely. Well, I do anyway. So
I want to ask. I noticed your tat. Is that? Did you just draw it, or is it a tattoo?
Which
on your finger? Did you draw that, or is it a tattoo?
No, that's a tattoo.
Yeah.
Horrible. Let's not bring that up.
I'm gonna see from there if it was drawn.
During COVID, I think we in Queensland only had 1 week of lockdown.
They said we've had enough.
Well, they gave us like 1 day warning before we went into lockdown or whatever. And I had this friend at the time, this girl, and she's like, "Oh, we should get a tattoo gun while we're in lockdown." And I was like, "Yeah, sick." Hit up a couple of mates, went on Facebook Marketplace, found this shit tattoo gun. It was like one of the old ones with the pedal.
Oh, you did it yourself.
Like back in the day, guns, and all the needles were expired and everything that were in the packet. But we were just like, we're just gonna use what we have. And I absolutely destroyed her foot. I'm so sorry. She's gonna wear shoes for the rest of her life. No thongs in Gold Coast for this lady.
Bro, Air Force Ones to the beach.
But luckily, I only agreed to this one. And she didn't join the top of the arrow, which I was pissed off about.
That's not even on purpose.
Nah. And then I went into another tattoo shop when I got other tattoos done, and I asked them to connect it, and it still isn't connected. So I've just given up on this now.
Is there a meaning behind it at all, doing that arrow? Is just
no. I've got a few random things going on my arms. Not proud.
What was that one on the forearm?
Which one?
Yeah, literally. Which one?
Is it an alien?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the ghost face guy. So Betty Boop, that's like part of the show. He's in it. And when my grandma passed away, this is like, this was a free tattoo. So it was like kind of a home. It was an apprentice tattooist done it for me. So I did it for free. I was like, cool. I don't really mind. Didn't come out the best, but it's all right. But yeah, my grandma was a big fan of Betty Boop. So I got that there. And then my grandpa at the same time, I was like, that just kind of goes, I guess, hand in hand. And then, there's a couple of stories around the other ones. But
Lisa Simpson as well.
Yeah.
Not his proudest moment.
Not my proudest moment. That was the time of my life. But hey, I love tattoos. At the end of the day, I'm just going to probably get a whole sleeve in a couple of years, cover it up. But for now, while I'm traveling around and stuff, I just get random tattoos from mates while I'm traveling, and it's just cool. It's just something I like at the moment.
What do you think is the biggest asset that you've gotten? I'll give you a couple options now, and if it's none of those options, give me what you actually think the asset is. Through all your travels and experiences, is it the people you've met? Don't answer yet.
Go on.
So the people you've met in terms of your network, the life lessons that you've been taught from what you've had to go through, the memories of the actual experiences themselves. So like thinking back to the moments, not necessarily the lesson from it, but the feelings and the joy and fear even sometimes. So networks, lessons, or the actual experiences themselves, or anything else.
I reckon
should be other.
Network is one of the biggest things you could have. Your network is your net worth, as people say. I know it's been told 100 times, but I'm starting to realise how true that actually is. So I've done a lot of travelling, done a lot of networking, and it helps me because any place I go now, I can pretty much pick up work.
That's great.
And that's one of the things I've pretty much wanted to be able to do is just be able to travel to where I want to and be able to pick up work. So
that's very sick.
And obviously the life lessons as well. have been massive to get me to where I am now. Like, I feel like I've gone through some stuff a lot of people haven't, and just got to get it done and keep going. Yeah. If I stop, then what am I going to do? That's where I'm at. So
that's dope.
That is awesome.
Yeah, no, but network 100% for me would be my biggest thing. My biggest if I could go back and start over all again, that would be the number one thing I'd focus on is the network of people. Really cool. And obviously having the work to show them as well. Yeah. It's good. So you need, for me, it's, I'm getting all those years, even though I was restarting, I was networking with heaps of people and just getting heaps of content. And like, was doing a lot of collabs and stuff as well, not even making money off a lot of it at the time. Because when I get into a new thing of like, people ask me to film this or that and I haven't done it before, sometimes I'm like, all right, I'll do this for free just because I haven't done it. Yeah. And I want to see if I can do it first. Yeah. And after I kind of prove to myself that I can, then I'm like sick. And then I'll show that to everyone else. Look at it, I can do this now. Yeah, and always, been like that. So not always been about the money for me, I guess. It's my network literally means more to me than my money. Just having cool people that can even call me up and go, I've got work for you here, I've got work for you there. Like, and I'll do the same thing. Like I did schoolies last year and they pay me pretty well. I was able to get 2 other boys on board and paid them pretty well out of the shoot as well. And then they hit me up now. And I'd never met them before that, but I've just watched their stuff and now they hit me up, giving work. So it's just giving and receiving. Just being in the right place at the right time too. Hey, that's a massive thing.
23 now, 7 years. What do you think it will be like at 30?
I haven't even thought past tomorrow. By then I would like to have a company, Paton Media, or maybe even another name for it. I don't know yet. Set up in Melbourne. Couple of people working, retainer work, obviously, and I want to get into documentaries. That's one thing.
Yes, please. I've been saying I want to tap into short filmmakers or whoever here and document.
I'm sick of short form content.
Doco, man.
Docos. Yeah. And like, especially growing up, like my mum done a lot of traveling, seen a lot of things that a lot of people wouldn't see. And she even used to meet up with like journalists and stuff at places in different countries and tell them what she had seen in places she shouldn't have been and stuff. And they'd go and meet up and like crazy stories like this. I can't remember where I was going with this, but
in terms of the 30,
So mum telling me and showing me all these, like when I was younger, she showed me all the film photos. Wasn't interested. Now I go through them and I'm like,
the archives,
the stories, tell me everything. So that's really rubbed off on me, and I want to go around and show people other parts of the world that they don't get to see and hear about, and just other people's stories. Even like, you guys are doing a good job of that at the moment, But yeah, that's something I'd love to do. Yeah, just short films and stuff like that, documentary. So it's nothing I've done yet at all.
Behind the cam, in front of the cam?
Behind the camera, for sure. Yeah. So I wouldn't even mind going with like a journalist or something, and then just like getting into wild places. I'm not talking you
like Louis Theroux kind of vibes, man.
Yeah.
I came across this YouTuber this week. Oh, far out. He's got like 3 million subs.
Yeah.
It's going to piss me off if I don't find his name. But he basically does that whole thing where he goes into all these random things. And it's like, I went to the most like drug enabled city, or I went to the most incestuous city. On that Vice type.
Vice is sick, man. Like, I rate that stuff.
Tyler Oliveira.
I've never heard of him. I'm gonna have to
So
check
he
that
snuck
out.
onto Jeffrey Epstein's island. And
Really?
like as he's there, all his videos are like 10 minutes long, right? But it's like he'll do these like crazy things, and like when he was like on Epstein's island, it's like apparently there's just people around and like buggies all the time, like manning the island, and they kind of like clocked him and he had to like run across the side or basically jump off. His escape was a jet ski. It's almost like surreal that he's doing this stuff. And then it's like other things where it's like, I think he went to the most I think there was one where he went to the most incestuous city in America, and he was just like trying to see what the people, because there's like a family that's like literally blue because of all the incest, like their skin is blue. And it's just like all this like really interesting stuff, and I was like, it's cool. The people that are willing to go and see and talk to people that
you can do it for.
You know, David Cho as well. I don't know if you've seen on like old Vice, like 10 years ago. him and his brother or cousin or whatever, they were jumping on all the coal trains and traveling like the whole of America or something to like Alaska from somewhere on coal trains.
Wow.
And they'd go and like sleep with homeless people and to just document everything. Right. Some weeks they'd make heaps of money and they'd go gamble and try and get more money to get more accommodation. They'd lose all their money back on the coal train. And then it was just sick, bro. Like I've actually wanted to do this for ages, just like jump on a train from somewhere here to like Alice Springs and they just jump off random days on the things and just see what happens, man. See like people like I drove out to Alice Springs. It took me like 6 days and there's like little what do you call it, like towns on the way with like 5 people there and you're like, what are you doing, bro? So they've like one petrol station and like 2 houses there or something. I'm like, what the hell is going on out here? So I'd love to even like just like go through there and be like, what are you doing? How did you find yourself here?
You're trying to fill up at night or whatever. I don't know where you're coming from because there's nothing around you. And the only other person who mans a petrol station is your neighbor anyway, bro. You are the cashier. Come back to work, bro. I need to fill up, bro.
I need some snacks, bro. Open up. It's weird out there, right? There's even in Australia, it's crazy. Like people think Australia is just
everything on the coast.
Everything on the
so
coast,
much
man.
we haven't experienced.
In Alice Springs and stuff, it's crazy. There's so much stuff going on that no one has any idea about.
That's something we'd be interested in doing is like a potting tour. We're in conversations with someone we're going to try out, but like that'd be sick. Especially regional. I think specifically regional.
That'd be really cool.
So we have to figure out how to make some networks, you know what I mean, in these regional areas.
I can try link you in.
You know what I mean? Genuinely,
my mate does all the like tour managing for like Frenchie, Isaac, even Steve-O when he just came over from Jackass did all his stuff, and so he knows all the regional places. So I can try and
that's awesome.
tie you guys in with that or something. So yeah, that'd be sick.
What's to come though? Well, what can we look out for they can speak on, you know what I mean? As in the coming months, weeks, whatever. Or you just figure it out,
Just have to wait and see.
Say less.
But yeah, I haven't really told any.
Are you telling yourself? You just have to wait and see.
I was literally just like,
I just have to wait and see. I think I go home on Tuesday.
There's this sick brand, KTP from the Gold Coast. They're like a activewear brand. Been doing a lot of stuff for them and they're growing massively at the moment. So they're someone I'm going to put a lot of effort into. KTP.
Keep the peace or what?
No, what is it? Keep the pump. Keep that pump.
Keep that pump.
Nice. Pretty close, but yeah, they're sick. And I've had a talk to the owner and his idea of where he wants to take. That's awesome. So like if I find someone that's like really like that, I'm happy to put 110% in because I want to be a part of that if it goes somewhere good. So that's somewhat, when I go back to the Gold Coast, that's going to be my first shoot. It's back with those guys. And then just literally planning to move back to Melbourne, I reckon. No idea what I'm going to do.
It'll come.
But yeah, if I put my mind to something, it usually works out.
That's sick. Hey man, there's stuff here for you. So I think Melbourne's ready to welcome you.
I'm keen to come back and give it another shot and see how it goes.
I think we're all genuinely excited to see where, genuinely excited to see where you head and what you end up doing. So we'll definitely keep a lookout.
Yeah, I definitely want to keep in contact with all you guys.
It feels like we made a new friend.
Yeah, definitely.
Even from a year from now, I'd love to come back on and just see what's happened.
15,000 stories.
Run it back.
Ready to hear it.
Stories. I moved back to Melbourne, stayed in a tent.
Hopefully not this time. Hopefully not this time. I think I got it all sorted a bit better. But when I was younger, just had to do what you had to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I've matured a bit more, so I think it's time to do it properly. Yeah, it's now or never.
Yeah.
I
love it.
Hey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Genuinely enjoyed this. You can follow right there at the Paton Media, right under. And we'll catch you guys next week. Episode 199. Apparently Frenchie's on next week. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Head to step1.life/The Disruption. Yeah. Comment on this one.
Rating.
Give us a rating on Spotify.
Yeah, man.
And we'll catch you guys episode 199 next week.
Bye.
Peace.